color.
So I really do feel like not only, now that I think about it, not only should I get Tongaloa, but I should also probably get The Rock.
Yeah,
No. Matt, no.
Why not? He's part of the bloodline.
No.
I drafted the bloodline. The entire
First, you're trying to get people added to your roster, and then you're trying to bribe people in another chat. I'm sick of you.
I'm just saying, I drafted the bloodline, so whoever is part of the bloodline should be on my roster. I should definitely get The Rock because he was part of the bloodline when I drafted him.
No. I say no.
I'll give him Rock. He doesn't get Tonga.
No, he should. He's getting Tongaloa for sure. Fine, whatever. You getting Tongaloa. You don't get The Rock.
I'll take God.
This is the first time I've ever heard you be excited about anything like New Japan.
Because he just wants to fucking win the goddamn
Have you
draft.
not
That's the
heard
only
me
reason
talk
he's
about the
excited.
Great Okan?
Well, besides the Great Okan, I think he goes above promotion and brands.
Does Vince sound a little more echoey than normal?
Yes, it's because.
Oh, there we go. That was beautiful.
Yeah, the thing that happened was that I was using the laptop stuff from when we last recorded, so Melissa can hear. I thought you guys were able to communicate with everybody. Let's see.
I will say though.
Yes.
So I get Tongaloa. Great, awesome, sounds good. Listen, I wasn't trying to bribe people. I was doing what I was asked to do, and in the midst of doing so, I said, please remember this when it comes time to voting. That's all I said.
I haven't seen
remember
anything
this
yet.
when it's time to vote on who had the best draft.
Exactly.
Eye emoji, laughing, crying emojis.
Where was
Please remember this?
This is
Not
the
group
panel
you're part
chat
of. This
for
is the chat for the panel for Getting Off that we're doing. So the episode that drops May 26th on Getting Off, Will's pick, Zombies won. We have a panel of 5 people. It is me, Reek, TC, Will, and Katie. And we each pick a movie, a zombie movie. The movies that were picked, since no one's watching right now, Zombie Strippers, Thriller.
Okay.
Because it's considered a short, so it counts. Dawn of the Dead 04, The Crazies 2010, and 28 Days Later, which I do think when I go to my parents' house tomorrow, I have on DVD in a giant DVD book that I left with them when I moved out and upgraded my shit to digital and Blu-ray. So I'm going to snag that if I can. Then I can watch the DVD.
I'll figure it out.
Also, I'm going to talk to TC about that website. TC sent us the link to the website, so you got that. I know your white guilt tries to prevent you from doing it, but it'll take you. You'll be all right.
Well, Daily Motion's not bad.
Yeah, because I wonder if we can also get Night of the Demons 3 on there because I just finished 2.
I did not watch it yet.
Trying to figure out the best positioning so I can flex everything that I was able to display.
I was looking
just
for
in time.
I thought Getting Off was tomorrow, and I was like, oh fuck, I don't have time for this. And then I was like, just kidding. We literally just did an episode. So I was like, oh, thank God I have time.
Yeah, no, you got time.
I have I have 2 notes so far.
I'm gonna try and figure out if we can do Night of the Demons 3. Just so we get them all out of the way. However, I'm curious as to see how you're gonna like this one because you kind of like the first one. I think the second one's better, but it also reminded me of something that you don't like. So,
what? There's a lot of things I don't like.
Not telling you. We'll talk about it when we record next Sunday. See, I want you to watch it and see if you catch it on your own without me telling you, and then you look because, all right, if I tell you and then you see it, you're gonna see it and you're gonna be like, oh fuck this movie. Possible. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah.
gonna ruin it for you before you go in.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I understand. I
Just
get
how,
it.
you know, how I roll. Obviously, you guys understand we're smashing and passing Backlash, so everyone watch Backlash, right?
We.
I just finished the main event. I didn't get a chance to get to it. I was in the supermarket buying carne asada because we had like a little mini impromptu
Because
little
you're
barbecue.
inviting me over for carne asada.
Yeah. Just like you invited me
So-
over too.
So you and I can christen your new house.
If that's the verbiage you want to use, sure. But yeah, then it just kind of became a thing, and then Aislinn and Melissa started putting up the shelves, the floating shelves for the Funkos here, and then the lights, and then it just kind of became a thing where like, okay, I can't watch my shit right now, but yeah, I got to it. I don't think I got a chance to fully enjoy the main event though, so I'm going to try to rewatch it after this
Okay.
and just like really take it in.
You know what's really funny, Katie? So TC responded to that picture of Reek and he said, "Get this man a crown," in his T'Challa voice. And I thought he was talking about getting me a crown because I hooked him up. So I went and made the Reek one and posted it and then said, you know, it's young kings, not king. He needs a crown too. Not realizing. We'll talk about that when the show starts. Will it's a special surprise. That
You
he was
have a
talking
guest
about
this week?
put a crown on Reek. Yeah, you.
Oh, they're in the future apparently, so they're in my time.
I like this.
It looks good. They did a great job.
They did a really fantastic job. I wish I can highlight more of what they did.
Oh, I know exactly what you were doing. I was also. Okay, let me ask you a question. Have you seen the Dave Chappelle show racial draft skit?
Katie hasn't.
He asked me about this. I have like a vague memory of it, but don't actually know it.
Because we'll save it for the show. Fuck it. I'm going to save it for the show because we got to talk about the draft anyway. Me and Vince are going to argue about the draft. So just woo-saw yourself and prepare for that.
Great.
Did you intentionally try to do a ticker?
We've
For
had
the
a ticker
episode?
running for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall there being a ticker 2 weeks ago.
There was.
Because Katie edited it last week with the Wrestling with the Truth from the week before when I had the ticker.
I feel like that's not accurate and factual. So
It is.
I'm
The
just-
ticker was on the episode I was not on. And that was a few weeks ago.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you might be right. You might be 100% right because I was not a fan of the ticker and I just didn't want to touch it because then I thought Matt did it. It's like, oh, Matt always gets all mad when I try to touch things. That he
Yeah, I
doesn't
don't
want
care
me
if
to
you're a fan of the ticker or not. I'm a fan of the ticker. I made the ticker. Leave the ticker alone.
touch.
All right. Time to run the intro.
Okay.
No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to Smack It Raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 wrestling podcast on places where you can find people having sex on the internet, the Smackin It Raw podcast. I am your host, the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter. And I am here with my co-host this evening. She is host of the She League Showcase Inside the Mind of In the Crowd, Getting Off, and Story Time with Ms. Katie Kinsey, baby.
Hola.
Baby. And joining us again, ladies and gentlemen, from the Get Show podcast, a man that stands Sheamus, the man that would draft Sheamus #1 overall in a draft, Vicente Alejandro Delgado Estrada.
How's it going, guys? Acknowledging Smackin It Raw.
It's nice to have you back.
Yeah, thank you. Glad to make my return. Can Katie do the intro next time I'm on the show? Because she can roll her R's very well.
Vicente Alejandro Delgado Estrada.
There you go.
I can roll my R's too. I just chose not to.
I think I'm worth my
He
R's
said-
being rolled.
Alejandro Estrada. There you have it.
There you go.
R's rolled. Anyway. So thank you. Well, thank you about the banger intro. I appreciate it. So tomorrow, if Vince doesn't get busy and or forget, you guys over on Vince's YouTube channel are in for a treat, right? You're in for a draft treat.
Yes.
I've been on every draft. I may not have drafted every draft, but I've been on every episode. I may or may not have drafted again. We have a debate currently. Katie doesn't think I should get Tongaloa with the Bloodline, even though I drafted the Bloodline because he debuted after we did the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Vince doesn't think I should get The Rock. I think I should get both. Vince said I should get Tongaloa, just not The Rock. Katie said I shouldn't get shit. I think I should get both.
I don't think you should get jack shit because he was not eligible to be drafted. That'd be like me claiming right now
but he still showed up for the Bloodline, so he would be on my show. That's what I'm saying.
No, because he was
The Rock was part of the Bloodline. Well, anyway.
Well, he wasn't eligible to be drafted.
You had Roman in there to be drafted with the Bloodline, so you let that.
Yeah, but I did that prior to him being removed, and I thought I removed Roman from there, so that was technical error on my part. So that's why you got Roman there. However, Rock was not eligible. Cena wasn't eligible. They weren't in there. So no, you do not get the fucking Rock. And depending on how the show goes, you may or may not get Tongaloa.
Depending on how the show goes.
We'll see how the show goes.
Vicente Alejandro Delgado Estrada. Don't make me bring Vince back. Don't make me replace you with my old co-host.
Wow, you're gonna replace a Mexican
with the Mexican? Yes.
I don't know. Is he Mexican anymore?
I think he's, as far as I know, he is.
Haven't heard from him in a while.
I heard him and Benji are actually hiding out in Mexico. So
you can't give away whereabouts, or just kind of give clues as to what they're doing.
General GPS location. So I want to thank you guys for joining us. Live at twitch.tv/creationworld, where if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you have Prime Gaming. If you have Prime Gaming, you get a free sub every month when you take that Twitch account and that Prime Gaming account and they fuck and they make a beautiful little baby that is a free sub. You give us that sub, specifically me. But if not me, give it to Katie because she takes subs. She loves subs. Katie's the biggest dom I know. Will Gray has this little thing called Rivet City Radio over on Twitch. Botch spots and chair shots, off the top media, all sorts of fun shit. You guys can go sub to them as well if maybe I'm not for you. Maybe you don't like women's wrestling because you're a hater. So the She League Showcase isn't for you. Will's got a variety of things you might enjoy. Give it to somebody. Don't let it go to waste. If you have it, give it to somebody. Show your support. We would appreciate it. and I also deserve it. Just like all the votes when the roster drops.
Stop doing that. Stop that. man.
YouTube.com/Creation World, where it is free to like, to subscribe, to comment. Katie, what does that do?
Boost the algorithm and helps find new listeners.
That is correct. And why is that important, Katie?
Oh, because you're a whore.
I look like a whore. I talk like a whore. I fuck like a whore. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a whore for your likes, for your comments, for your views, for your subscriptions. Ask my wife. I'm here to entertain you. That's the whole point of us doing this podcast. We want to give you content that you enjoy. And the only way that I know that I'm doing a good job and that you enjoy it is through interaction, through likes, through subscribes, through comments, through, cute little notes in my DMs with dick pics attached. Like all of those things. Let me know that you guys are enjoying the show, or at least enjoying me. So
Exactly,
do
guys.
those things. Huh?
So exactly, man, eres una puta y te gusta que te anden pasando de una parte a otra. ¿Verdad? Es cierto, ¿no?
Pretty sure called you a bitch.
Yeah, no, he did. I know
Puta
that word.
means whore.
I've heard
means
it in both contexts.
Depending on who you ask. Google whore, translated. Puta.
Oh, I know it means
Thank you
both. I'm
for-
just saying I've heard.
Thank you for the Spanish translation, Vince, for all of those watching who don't speak English.
Who's Vince?
We do appreciate it.
Who's Vince?
That's not
Vicente.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're referencing me. Oh,
You're
trying
right.
to wipe.
I'm sorry. Listen, you guys kind of look a little bit alike. I've been saying this
I
for a
know.
long
I
time.
know.
but,
Most
like,
Mexicans look
he
the
never
same.
did. He never did Spanish translations for me. Yeah, you,
Oh,
Eddie
it's okay.
Guerrero, Dominic Mysterio, like couldn't tell you apart.
We all have mullets. I'm growing one. We all have like the same kind of like mustache and then nothing else here. So it's a trend. It's a thing.
So go there, do that, and while you're there, flick that bean, ladies and gentlemen. Let me watch you flick that bean. Let me know you flick that bean. And by that, I mean hit the notification bell, get notified every time we go live, whether it is Fridays at 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, every Saturday at 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern, and every other Sunday, pending a change of format during the time that House of the Dragon is on for about 2 months. Which has to be figured out and discussed, for Getting Off every other Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern. I was so close. I did so good, then I fucked it up right there.
You were doing so well.
Oh, well. Let's get into the show. Katie, you got the news and the rumors?
I do have the news.
We're smashing and
the
passing today,
rumors.
Will, so when we get there, you might want to go
It's
ahead.
okay. It's after we do spits and swallows, though, so you got time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to talk about who was drafted after the draft was said and done, basically, like the ones that weren't on TV?
Yeah, you know what? Let's just talk draft now. So me and Vince have varying opinions on the draft. I tend to agree with a lot of people that the draft in and of itself, you shouldn't be drafting superstars to a show that they are already on. In the NFL draft, you don't draft people that are already on your team to make sure that you keep them. I also believe that if you're doing a racial draft, you're supposed to be drafting people of another race to your race, not people of your race. Neither here nor there. To keep them. That's not how a draft works. They're already on your team. You can't draft people already on your team. That's my take on it. Vince really enjoyed the draft. He liked the people getting drafted to their brands that they already existed on.
Here's the thing. Were there like big shakeups this year? No, there weren't. However, there were some roster transactions. It doesn't make sense to shake up things just to shake them up. You know, like that was my whole like thing. It's like, okay, you're gonna move Kevin Owens to Raw and to what, like ruin like, or are you gonna break up a tag team or break up a faction? You know, they're still trying to tell their stories. I feel like this time around I'm giving them a pass and see what they do next year. But they shouldn't every single year be like, oh, it's crucial that you keep your wrestlers. In that case, you should do what they do in expansion drafts in sports, where you go ahead and just have like protection on certain roster members and everybody else is up for grabs. And then if they don't get drafted, so you keep them there. Shout out to Travis being in the chat.
Just so you know, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, as of right now, you guys can go check out the latest episode of Get Your Podcast featuring Vicente Alejandro Delgado Estrada, as well as your boy Just, Dom, and the Will Gray. And the sweaty session is a racial draft. And I'm fairly certain after listening to it, Vince is the only person that drafted Latinos to the Latinos. So
listen,
Travis is sticking up for you, I believe.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna just assume that's a positive. Just gonna assume it's a positive. But here's the thing: I can't have a draft for the Latinos and not draft the LWO and make sure they stay there, because now everyone that got drafted are new members of the LWO. So I need the brand, and also I'm trying to make sure I secure Bad Bunny and Becky G on my brand, on my race. You know, they come as a package deal.
Fair. Vince drafted like a real draft. The other four of us did our best to get canceled, essentially, and it was an entertaining time. I had a great one. I have seen the episode of the Chappelle Show. Yes, I have.
But also, I did draft people that were Latino or like half Latino, or I didn't realize were even like slightly a bit Latino on their mama's side. You know, I learned a lot doing this draft. So check it out. It's available right now.
So before Katie gives us the people who were drafted after Raw went off air, Gunther stays on Raw, Jade stays on SmackDown, Damage Control goes to Raw, Kevin Owens stays on SmackDown, CM Punk stays on Raw, Almighty Prophet stay on SmackDown, Braun Strowman returned. I don't remember where the fuck he was, but he's on Raw. Tiffany stays on SmackDown. Yeah. LWO to Raw with Carlito. Paquete de Lobos stay on SmackDown. Drew stays on Raw with CM Punk. Shinsuke stays on SmackDown. Judgment Day stays on Raw. Naomi stays on SmackDown. Dragunov goes to Raw. Chelsea and Piper go to SmackDown. New Day go to Raw, I believe, because they were feuding. Stay on Raw. Yeah, they were feuding. Pretty Deadly stay on SmackDown. Lyra Valkyria goes to Raw. Candice and Indy go to SmackDown. The Final Testament go to Raw because they were feuding with the Pride, who were already on SmackDown. DIY goes to SmackDown. Bronson Reed stays on Raw. Goes to Raw. I don't know. It stays.
Bronson Reed stays. I can tell you who stays. I have it here.
Katie's favorite wrestler in NXT gets drafted up to SmackDown. The one, the only, Blair Davenport.
Fuck, bitch. I can agree with that.
I think the result of the drafts are fine, but the presentation of the draft itself was tedious and boring.
Like,
Justin,
make that shit exciting. Bring back the 2005 draft. There was like, and there was like just the thing, and everyone's picture was popping up. Yeah, do that.
But shit. I like the war rooms. I like the war rooms aspect of it.
You can still show the war rooms. Be like, woohoo, we got them. Or,
what's the strategy if it's just random?
You can have like an ideal like list of who you want and leave it to the powers that be via the wheel thing, whatever.
But if it's a wheel, it would be random regardless of who they list. So like it doesn't really matter. It's like out of their hands.
You can still go in. It's like you whatever. I'm not arguing about the fucking draft anymore.
Adding NXT would have been fun. Neither here nor there. Katie, who else got drafted after Raw?
So SmackDown got Apollo Crews, Tegan Knox, and Giovanni Vinci. Raw got so many more people because SmackDown got disrespected this draft. Dijak from NXT. The Creeds with Ivy Nile, New Catch Republic, Natalia, Ninja Sex Party, and Odyssey Jones got drafted again.
He still works there?
He still works there. Oh, I'll get into people who don't. Don't worry. We'll get there.
kind of like Carmelo Hayes got drafted to SmackDown from NXT, even though he signed a SmackDown contract a couple.
Did
weeks
he sign a
before.
SmackDown contract? UNTC keep mentioning it, but I don't recall that actually happening.
He did.
Pretty sure he did. Yeah, he did.
He did. But he was still like doing shit in NXT. Now he's like officially done in NXT.
Anyway,
Allegedly.
nothing really exciting. I mean,
Exciting?
Lyra
No.
dragging off to Raw. I'm in.
They're just call-ups, though. You could have had those even without the draft.
I'm excited for Lyra, especially because Lyra is going to be in the first round of the Queen of the Ring qualifier
Against Asuka.
against fucking Asuka, and that's going to be dope.
Gonna be so good. The first round matches for the King and the Queen of the Ring tournament are amazing.
They released them?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that trend off social media.
During Backlash, they released them.
Sunday night, Katie, you and I did botch spots and chair shots, and then we did getting off.
Yeah. Wow, that shit like so long ago. Mm-hmm.
During that show, the whole Jim Cornette thing happened.
Yeah. I didn't even write down. I didn't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, so here's the thing. I want to address it because I've seen a lot of stuff, people defending him and then blah, blah, blah.
Why?
And I want to be clear when I say this. This is in no way, shape, or form in defense of him. This is me using an example of something that happened to prove why this shouldn't have happened. Vince, do you remember about a year ago, there was a thumbnail that we were going to make, and during the show, we were talking about watermelons, so I told you to put watermelons on the thumbnail?
He's currently joking, but yes, he understands.
And after that happened, because I think we were talking about boobs and comparing boobs to watermelons in the show, and I'm like, yeah, put those on there, because I wasn't thinking. And then I sent the thumbnail to Travis, and Travis was like, what the fuck is this? And then it dawned on me that our thumbnail was a black wrestler, and we put watermelons on there. Now, we didn't let that get released. We fixed it. Regardless of the content that we were discussing and the reason for it,
also,
we knew the way
the title too was kind of implying that the specific wrestler was a clusterfuck.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it was a combination of a multitude of things.
Regardless, we caught it, we fixed it, we didn't release it because regardless of our intention and the content that the thumbnail was based on, we saw how it was going to be perceived, and we weren't going to release that out into the public. This is a tiny podcast, right? And we caught it and we fixed it. Someone like Jim Cornette, who has the reach and the PR teams and all of that shit, should never have let, regardless of context of what he was talking about or who was compared to what or whatever, let that thumbnail be released, knowing how it was going to look and how it was going to be perceived.
Mm-hmm.
It should have never happened.
On
top of the fact that on top of the fact that he is a white man who has used the N-word frequently in the past, on top of all of that, that should have never been done. So regardless of your defenses, oh, well, the content, the context doesn't fucking matter here.
No.
It doesn't matter what he was talking about on the podcast. The image still exists, and the image, whether it may not be offensive to everybody, was still offensive to enough people that it shouldn't have been released. If you can even sit down and look at it and take it that way, whether it was meant that way or not, it shouldn't have been done. So I understand putting a thumbnail together and not piecing it together until later, but we caught it and we didn't do some dumb shit. We fixed it. It should have been caught by them if a tiny podcast like us can catch it before something offensive gets released unintentionally. Or it was meant the way it was meant and it was released the way it was released. Because they didn't get
probably that second option because I'm in no mood to rant. I have no energy for it.
What else you got for news and rumors?
So I saw this on Wednesday before it officially happened. First ever WWE Speed Champion Ricochet. I saw this I don't remember why I saw it, but it was before the match happened, or the match happened. They pre-record them like before the events. So yeah, it was the finals was Ricochet and Johnny Gargano. Ricochet became the first ever WWE Speed champion. Shout out to Ricochet.
Go to AEW.
Don't. He's fine. He's got Samantha. He's Gucci. He doesn't need to go anywhere. He's fine. All right, we'll just talk releases since those happened. Not only was Scripps released, we knew him as Reggie. Gulak, and that was a whole fucking thing. And then NXT names that were released. Daryl Mason. Oh, I didn't look over these names. Oh no, I'm gonna fuck these up. Julian Baldi, that was the Italian guy who we never even got to see wrestle. So that kind of sucks. Trey Bearhill, Kashawn LaFleur. Is that L? Yeah. Valentina Feroz, Emma Diaz, Kia Saint, Ezekiel Balogun. I don't know. I've never heard of these people. And then Vlad Pavlenko, who I've also never heard of. But they were all in NXT or were going to be in NXT / in the PC and were released.
Okay.
Valentina Feroz is like one of the only names that have been there for a longer time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Didn't her tag partner get released last year, or is she still?
Yeah.
I thought they both got released at the same time. That's why when I saw her name, I'm like, she's still on the roster? I thought she got released.
No, it was only fuck. What's her name? That's gonna bother me. It was only one half of the tag team.
It's okay. I don't remember the name either. And she's my fellow Mexican, and I still don't remember.
Yeah, it was only one half of that tag team. Powerhouse Hobbs has to get surgery on, I think it was his leg that got actually injured in that match. So he'll be out for an extended period of time. It did not say how long. Ethan Page got let go of AEW and ROH, and people were like, where's Ethan Page's picture on the rosters? And then he released the video, kind of like tongue-in-cheek, talking about how he is selling out figures on Ringside Collectibles, and people got mad at it because he's making light of the fact that he lost his job. Because the internet, and everyone sucks. So whatever.
We've talked about doing a draft where we pick people on a roster that would be better suited somewhere else. Ethan Page has a lot of personality, a lot of charisma. I think that's his strongest suit. And he's another one of those people I think would be better suited in NXT or WWE than he would be over in AEW. Not saying he is a bad wrestler.
1,000%.
It's just AEW doesn't really focus on the character work and the charisma side as much as they're mainly focused on the in-ring content, right?
For sure.
And he doesn't stand out in ring in a roster full of amazing in-ring wrestlers, and he's not enough
I'll make a
personality to top like the MJFs. I'm still talking, Vince. Can you give me 2 seconds to finish, please, sir?
Please, sir.
Okay, now go ahead.
I'll compare. I was going to say I'll make a case that it's very similar to LA Knight. Like nothing in LA Knight's in-ring repertoire really like just stands out. But you need to get him on the mic, let him to tell his story, and that's where he really shines. Ethan Page was the freelance world champion here in Chicago. Ashley was one of the owners here in freelance wrestling. So I saw him a lot, and I can see that when he's able to do his heel work or just get over as a babyface, the crowd does get behind him. So definitely need to get out of AEW for sure.
Well, he's already gone. So that's kind of the whole point of that.
Yeah.
And then the big thing that happened today. The reason I had to watch the goddamn Kentucky Derby to hear this news, because I don't watch the pony shows because I'm normal.
I'm glad short
What?
kings have their own sport.
I hate you. So announced during the Kentucky Derby, basically, there was an ad that played, and we finally got our WrestleMania 41 commercial in our news on April 19th and April 20th, 2025, in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. We got WrestleMania 41. Woohoo! I'll be
I have
there.
not.
That's all that matters. I'm back
I have not asked Kate yet, but unfortunately, they have moved the dates away from my birthday and to Easter weekend. And I am not 100% sure I am going to be able to convince Kate that we're going to tell both of our mothers and fathers that they cannot see their granddaughter on Easter, or convince Kate to leave her granddaughter or her daughter on Easter, or allow me to abandon the family for the Easter festivities to go to WrestleMania.
Hear me out. Just come the night one.
Still have
Yeah.
to get from Vegas back to Chicago in time for Easter brunch.
Well, y'all can just push brunch back.
Have Easter dinner.
It's also
Brenner.
420, bro. Plays it.
There's I can't do that.
I
There's
don't do that.
traditions and things. So
I don't know.
There's traditions in my family too, and I don't give a flying fuck. I'm gone.
yes, but you don't have a daughter that your
I don't have a child.
parents are like, exactly. That's my issue. Because Reek was all like, you got a year to get a babysitter. It's like, it's finding a babysitter isn't the problem. It's avoiding the entire family Easter weekend so I can go to Vegas and be at WrestleMania, and also getting the parties together.
Just do what I do. I'd be like, no, you're not going to see your.
You also don't have a child.
No, but if I did have a child, I would just be like, you're just going to see them on Easter.
You would not do that, and if you did do that, you'd get beat with Chancala, and you'd be on the show black and blue with busted glasses.
No, I would, because I mean, personally, neither of Melissa's mom or my mom really do anything for Easter like that. It's not as big in the Delgado Estrada household or adjacent households, so it just feels like a regular Sunday.
I love how you're like, it's not big for us, so I would do it, but it's big for you guys, so you should do it too.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Say you don't stay for Mania. Just come out to Vegas for like 2 days, so we can all just hang out, and then you can go back and be home in time for Easter.
I have to talk to the wife.
Want me to talk to her?
Like, you and Travis can try and talk to her. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know who. I think he wants to talk to your parents.
Is Travis gonna try to go too? Or is he just trying to be your advocate?
I'd love to get PC and Travis in the same room at the same time.
Also, by the way, I need someone to watch Natalie. Cool, she stays with you all. I don't have a room yet, my guy. I can't help you there.
I think he's talking about me.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
I have to talk to my wife. All right, so WrestleMania's in Vegas. The majority of our friend group and podcasting group are going to go. Probably won't be there, but we'll see.
You're going to be there.
They fucked it up. If they had left it around my birthday, I probably could have swung it. If I get the funds together, I could have done it. They moved it to fucking Easter, so.
I was not necessary to be present on an obscure date that's determined by the spring equinox. Just have Easter the weekend before. They'll never know.
Anyway, what else you got for news and rumors?
That was it.
Okay. I'm gonna kick off Spitzer Swallows. I am spitting on Raw the entire interaction between Logan Paul, the Judgment Day, and Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes being basically the guest of Logan Paul, the friend of Logan Paul, and a heel ringside during the entire show.
It's because he's a prime athlete, so That's also
So is
partly
he
why
getting
it's there.
sued too in that Prime lawsuit where they're poisoning
Probably
people?
not. I think it's probably just the people who like created it and shit, i.e., Logan Paul and KSI.
But also, like, it was a weird dynamic because he was presented as a heel, but that's his
In his
home,
hometown after he won
the Super
After they
Bowl.
legit won the Super Bowl, but
But they
sound
were
about right.
cheering, like the crowd was cheering for him, but were conflicted when he was doing heelish things. So it's like, how did that make sense in their head? Like, it doesn't make sense.
It didn't. That's the
we also
problem.
had Logan Paul cut a. He's not good. He's not a good. Like I thought, talking was his thing. It's not. So
No,
he's
nothing
not
is
a good
his thing.
promo. He cut a shitty promo on Jey Uso after the draft picks. Finn and JD come down to save Paul from an ass whooping from Jay. Paul borrows 3 super rings and misses Jey Uso and blows JD McDonough's face up even more than it already is. Finn and Paul jump Jay. Strowman comes out and makes the save, which was fucking weird. But yeah, no, most importantly, JD's face was fucked.
So bad.
JD was face fucked.
He had a facial for sure.
You know, I'm not. Logan doesn't do it for me.
No. In that respect, adjacently, let's just spit I Show Speed being there because he completely ruined the announcement of CM Punk being drafted to Raw.
Sure.
Like,
I don't even know who the
he
fuck
just
that
had-
is. So yeah.
It's the dude that was with Logan Paul that made the draft announcements.
Yeah, but I don't know who he is.
I know who he is,
Twitch
unfortunately,
streamer.
because of TikTok would show him on my feed so much. But I
He's
would,
an influencer.
yeah, I don't care about the guy. That's why I'm mad that he's on my screen.
I'm 37 fucking years old. I don't give a fuck.
I'm 25 years old. Oh my god.
Well, since Vince has a mouthful now, Katie, spit or swallow.
I'm gonna swallow Xavier Woods and Big Gunther. Hell of a fucking match. Just the dynamic of the two of them. Xavier Woods literally giving his all every single time he's in the ring. I want more people to respect Xavier Woods as a wrestler, in general, and the conflicting emotions Kofi had on the outside. You know, wanted to throw the towel in, didn't, because Xavier Woods like, I got this. He didn't have it, but like he did his best. But I loved that match. It was one of my favorite matches I watched this week.
All right.
It was a really good match. The whole throwing in the towel thing, like Kofi's like, I gotta do it, and then Xavier's like, no, don't do it, I got this. It's like, all right, I believe in you, bro. And then he doesn't throw in the towel. It was cinema. We're in the cinema era. This is what we're doing now.
Well, the part that I loved the most about it was Gunther declared himself for the King of the Ring, and Xavier came down and was doing his whole like usurper, because he is in his mind still the King of the Ring until a new one
He's
is
always King of the
crowned.
Ring.
He's defending his title as king, and Kofi's hyping him up, and yeah, no, it was good shit.
But Xavier Woods isn't in any of the first round matches.
So he's not going to be a king, period, after that.
No,
Unless
the winner
they
should
just
have to
have him
defeat.
on SmackDown.
I was going to say, the winner of the tournament should have to face Xavier Woods to be King of the Ring. You should have to beat last year's King of the Ring to become the new King.
I agree. Just like in every single Pokemon video game, you have to beat all the gym leaders, then the Elite Four, and then you have to beat the champion, the previous champion. Exactly. You got to be the. As a man that I don't like to reference anymore, he does have a good saying: "You got to beat it to be the man. You have to beat the man." So, in this case, to be the king, you have to beat the king.
I thought it was to be a man, you have to beat off a man. Is that not?
Oh, that's a different one. That's another one.
You're not wrong. I think I watched the wrong promo.
No, you're right. You
always watch the wrong promo.
Vince, spit or swallow?
Let me look at my list real quick.
I'm
gonna go over to SmackDown, and I'm gonna swallow Paul Heyman accidentally revealing to Nick Aldis that he actually hasn't spoken to Roman Reigns since WrestleMania, and that technically he's not in control of the bloodline. Everyone is just like doing whatever the fuck they want, and he's just afraid for his life. And that Roman didn't actually withdrew his name from the draft. Paul Heyman did it to just like prevent him from seeing all the chaos that's happening with the bloodline. So that story beat to me was a small little like backstage segment, but it was so monumental in the story that they're telling with the bloodline, at least this version of the bloodline.
Well. So I am spitting Paul Heyman's weak pullout game.
Okay, fair enough. If you're gonna smack it raw, you have to pull out.
Listen, if you're gonna smack it raw, you've got to pull out. But Paul Heyman's
the logo of the is that the fucking like
that's the slogan. Just do it. Like for us, it's like you got to pull out if you're gonna smack it raw.
I'm going to say this again for a bullet point and/or title. Paul Heyman's weak pullout game, because not only did he, like you said, Vince, he admitted that he didn't convince Roman to pull out. He just pulled Roman out, right? But then he tried to convince Randy and KO to pull out, and he couldn't convince them to pull out. He couldn't get them to pull out. His pullout game is weak. You can't get anyone to pull out.
So technically, he didn't get Roman to pull out. He just kind of said he pulled out, and Roman is just kind of living his best life, probably on the beach somewhere. And
you ever know a guy who said he pulled out and he didn't pull out?
Say what?
You ever know a guy who said he pulled out but he didn't pull out?
I don't know if this is a trick question or not, so I'm just gonna plead the fifth here in case it's a setup.
I'm assuming you're that guy now, Vince. So okay.
No, we know too much information about this guy.
No, I'm just Paul Heyman's got a weak pullout game, and
he's got great facials.
That he does have great facials. Paul gives great facials, terrible pullout game. Nick tells Paul to try and get Randy and KO to pull out. To pull Randy and KO out himself on the RKO show. He shows up, tries to convince him to pull out because he's telling him this fight is different. It's, with Roman, he was defending his title and he had to do what he had to do. But these other guys, and Randy goes, "Hey, Paul, who is the tribal chief?" And Paul's just like,
that's none of your goddamn business.
Put me in a real tough spot here. And luckily, Solo and Tama come in and start attacking KO and Randy, and we get a brawl that lasts from the beginning of the show all the way to the end of the show, and then on to fucking tonight, this morning. No, it was good shit. Big swallow for me. I'm swallowing Paul Heyman's weak pullout game. No pause.
I'm swallowing it too, because even though it's an issue for him, it's entertainment for us to see a man struggle to pull out.
Is it?
Oh, it is. It is. That's why I have mirrors. I mean, never mind.
I gotta go. I can't. This is too much. I guess.
All right, look, I'm gonna follow Vince's lead. I'm gonna stick on SmackDown. I'm gonna swallow Bobby Lashley.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
Trying to give Carmelo Hayes some friendly advice, offer him like a little bit of a mentorship, and Melo just getting cocky and running his mouth. He's like, "I was a first-round draft pick. I was in the ring with the champion my first night on the show." Bobby's like, "Listen, it's not about how many shots you take. It's about which shots you take, or shooting the right shots or something like that." And he goes, "When was the last time you shot any shots, Bobby?"
Ooh. Oh, man.
And then Bobby stops him and he's like, "You should be careful who the fuck you disrespect round here." That whole thing.
Round here, round these parts.
Because Bobby came and talked to Melo and Trick at one point.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, "Oh, maybe Melo's going to join the Pride, blah, 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 blah." Now his confidence is high. He was a first-round draft pick, and he is going to dig himself a fucking hole that he can't get out of.
I'm so looking forward to seeing a possible Bobby Lashley versus Carmelo Hayes match. And I, like you, Matt, am swallowing Bobby Lashley coming to talk to Carmelo Hayes. I thought it was a good little spastic segment. SmackDown hit it with the backstage stuff.
Yeah, they did.
Yep.
Any thoughts on your boy Carmelo Hayes, Katie, and his new attitude?
He's a cocky son of a bitch. I have been saying it. But 9 times out of 10, he can back it up. I do really want to see him versus Big Bob, though. It will be great. Very excited.
Oh, yeah. It'll be a good match. For sure.
Katie, spit or swallow?
Hold on. Where am I here? I'm gonna go AEW because there was no collision, so it was just Dynamite and Rampage.
That was smart of them.
Well, they didn't really give it. It's May the 4th be with you. TNT and TBS said, "Fuck you, Star Wars."
Star Wars.
You don't get a show this week, so that's why. But I'm going to swallow Adam Copeland taking on Buddy Matthews. Yeah, that was Dynamite, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
They did them back to back, so I don't know. It was a fantastic match, and now Copeland is kind of starting to feel the effects, possibly maybe, of getting misted at Dynasty, because he wanted to. Good job. He wanted to give Buddy a concerto and then stopped himself, and then Malachi appears and is like, "Do it," and he still doesn't do it. But like, it's the mind tricks. I'm about it. If it leads to Malachi getting the title, I'm not gonna be mad. I know you're not happy with it. Just let me have this.
No. Like, I want them to tell the story better because hopefully, obviously, it is leading towards Malachi Black versus Edge for the TNT title. But the way it feels like now is it's just going to be Malachi Black sending other people to wrestle Adam Copeland and then show up to fuck with him. And I don't know that we're going to get. I hope we get that match. I hope that's where it goes. I hope it's not just an endless stream of like Malachi popping up for months and, you know, random episodes of Dynamite or Collision to fuck with Edge. And then 6 months from now, we get the match. Like,
I don't think. Listen, hopefully he
How
can drop on
often
his
does
head
he
and
get-
knock some sense into there. Good.
How often does he get singles matches on Dynamite?
Not often.
Exactly.
Never.
Until I see him consistently being booked as a singles act and not just like a tag or trios wrestler, like, I don't think they're gonna successfully
Actually,
execute
I
this.
think it'd be a fantastic idea if so next week it's Brody versus Copeland, which makes sense. You have one, you have the other. At Double or Nothing, you have Malachi beat Copeland and make it a fucking Freebirds rule that any of them can fucking defend the title. If you're not going to give them the trios titles back, because clearly there is nothing in that trios division, let Malachi be like the champion. I watched people defend titles that weren't even theirs in promotions, so I think this should be allowed. You know?
No.
I feel like that
watched
we're just doing the Christian Luchasaurus thing.
Yeah.
I watched Stevie Richards wrestle a match to defend Raven's title twice. This man did that shit twice, and he wasn't the champion.
I know. I also
So-
watched Randy Orton defend Booker T's United States Championship from Redacted in the Best Out of 7 series because Booker T got injured.
Which is just
And-
them stealing the same thing that they did in WCW, where Booker and Redacted wrestled the Best of 7 series, and then Booker got injured by Bret Hart, and they had Stevie Ray come out and defend his title for him non-consensually. But you know that if you watch Return to Wrestling.
Wrestlers defending another wrestler's title for them will forever be like a pet peeve of mine in wrestling, and I will never get behind it. So, no.
Well, I just want House of Black to be fucking champions, and if that's the way I get it, then I get it.
You know how they become champions? drafting them over to NXT or Raw or SmackDown. You draft them over to Impact, Aleister Black would be world champion like tomorrow. Like they'll put this title on him right away.
I would love that. Do I even have that? So, what do I have here? Kenny, Zoe, Christian. Explaining. Oh, okay. The one highlight I did have that was a swallow, and what you're talking about is, I was home Wednesday with Zoe. She was sick. I ended up calling into work because she was sick, and Kate. It's like the one day a month she had to work in the office, so I had to stay home and watch Dynamite with Zoe. And Zoe was watching the segment, and when the lights went out and Malachi Black appeared and then went out and disappeared, she goes, "Daddy, where'd he go?" And I had to explain to her why he disappeared. So that was fun for me. So that was a swallow.
It's magic is what it is. I mean, I don't know what the rest of the tell her.
Sorcery, witchcraft. So Julia Hart's doing.
Vince, spit or swallow. Julie Hart's gone.
Injured.
Not in our draft. She's not. Not in our draft. She's not. She got a sense of being. Let's mosey on over down to NXT, shall we? And give some flowers to a person I don't normally give positive feedback to, and that's Natalya. She had a fantastic showing with Lola Vice in NXT Underground in the main event, the first ever women's NXT Underground match. Fucking fantastic. It was a great fucking match. That was the most invested I've been in Natalya probably from the moment she debuted. I liked it. It was fantastic. Just keep her in NXT. I said this in the past. I'll continue to say this. Keep her away from the main roster. Leave her in NXT. That's a nice little spot for her. She did great. Great match. Everything was fantastic.
I feel like I watched a different match than anyone else because I heard a bunch of people praising this, right? All I saw was a woman who should be putting over young new talent, basically putting young new talent in a position where Shayna Baszler had to repeatedly come in and save her until she could squeak out a win. And I was not a fan of that. Lola is an MMA fighter from Bellator, I believe. Natalya is Natalya Neidhart. This MMA fighter should have been fucking Natty up for most of that match. She shouldn't have needed Shayna to come and save her. She shouldn't have been beating up both Shayna Baszler and Lola Vice almost simultaneously. Carmen Petrovich didn't even do shit except get choked out ringside so Natty let go of the hold. I didn't like any of this, and I was hyped for it. I wanted this, and I didn't like what they gave me. It was a spit for me.
Natty and Lola, I thought they had good chemistry. I liked what they were doing. Like, yeah, would you have liked to see Lola be a little bit more dominant? Sure. But it wasn't terrible. I liked that. I enjoyed it. I'm not like harping too much on the Shayna stuff, even though in the moment it did bother me. But now it's just like it's so like minor that I don't care as much as I did when I watched it on Tuesday.
Natalya beating up two trained MMA fighters in the middle of a ring with no ropes bothered the fuck out of me. Because it's Natalya.
Katie, what do you think?
I mean, I feel like Shayna played a good part on the outside, and yeah, there are no rules, so yeah, she's gonna get involved if Lola was looking a little rough. But I mean, I do agree with Matt. Lola should have been kicking Natty's ass from the jump because trained fighter. I don't care if you have Carmen Petrovich, who was also trained. I don't know what exactly she's trained in. I know MMA, but it's different. The best part was Shayna choking out Carmen, just sneaking up behind her and just appearing like the memes and choking her out.
You know what I wanted? I wanted a CM Punk moment. I wanted them to get in the ring and her to get knocked the fuck out like CM Punk did. That's what I wanted.
That'd be kind of funny.
I thought you were going to say Ronda Rousey moment because she got knocked out. worse than Punk, I think.
Yeah, but she was a trained MMA fighter who had like a huge fucking win record and was a champion. CM Punk was a wrestler who went in and trained and got ready and then got beat by somebody very decisively. And then did it again and got beat very decisively. That's kind of what I wanted to see. Because outside of, all of the charisma and talent that he has on the microphone, in like the most base sense, they're both trained professional wrestlers who grew up in wrestling. There's not that big of a difference, even in age, between Natalya and CM Punk.
Yeah.
So that's just what I wanted, and I didn't get it, and I didn't like it, so I'm spitting it. But I do respect that you enjoyed it. I saw a lot of people enjoyed it. I'm glad a lot of people were happy and hyped about it. I didn't get what I wanted. And when I don't get what I want, I spit.
Fair enough.
Let's go to AEW Dynamite. I'm going to swallow the fact that they told me that Chuck Taylor can never wrestle again, and that Trent had the audacity to go out there and tell Orange Cassidy that he is selfish and all of this is his fault. That none of this would have happened if he wasn't a selfish piece of shit. And I'm just a little sad. I thought Stat was going to turn there when she was holding OC back. I would have loved it if it was just Trent and Stat going off, having sex in Trent's mom's van. Like, it would have been a great time.
Not Suzanne.
Oh my god.
Well, not Suzanne, her van. Suzanne's van.
I said Suzanne.
Oh, it sounded like you said Suzanne.
It sounded like you said not Suzanne.
I said van. Suzanne.
Yeah, no, that. I enjoy. I told you. I've said for a very long. Rocky Romero's like, "Fuck you guys, I'm out." Like, I want nothing to do with any of this.
As he should.
Me and my eye patch. Like, I can only see one person at a time anyway. I can't listen to deal with all this fighting. I've said that Trent is the only part that I like. I liked OC. I liked Orange Cassidy, but I liked him when he was doing the gimmick, and he hasn't really run the gimmick for a while.
Yeah, so.
And I'm not really feeling just professional wrestler Orange Cassidy. The gimmick is what sold me, and I would have liked him to keep that. So Trent's really the only one that I fucked with out of the best friends besides Stat. I never fucked with Chuck Taylor. And they're like, Chuck Taylor can never wrestle again, which I'm sure is just kayfabe bullshit, but like, it made me happy.
Well, yeah, heel Trent's the fucking best. This is what I wanted.
Maybe he'll come back with some actual Chuck Taylors, and then I'll stop talking shit about him.
The only thing I didn't like about this was what the fuck is Don Callis doing? Nobody asked for his opinion in this.
Orange Cassidy left with them, so apparently he's recruiting for the family. Hobbs is down. They need another big meaty man, so he went to Orange Cassidy because
the complete opposite of a big meaty man, but okay.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of me on those phones.
Hobbs is out. Kyle Fletcher's getting basically done with Callis' bullshit. Ospreay's like, I don't really like you, but I'm just gonna stay here for like a hot minute or two. The family in Don Callis' family, to be exact, they're gone. He has no family.
Well, he's got to rebuild, right?
No. Or, hear me out, no.
Fair. I'll give you that. Katie, spit or swallow?
I'm going to swallow the women's North American title scene, I guess, in NXT. So, like, Ava came out and was like, all right, fuckers,
Combine.
Here's what's going to happen. What?
It's a combine. They kept saying combine. I'm in the combine.
That's what I was getting to.
Okay.
She came out. She said, bitches, here's what's going to happen. We're going to have a combine. Top 12 people in the combine get to, like, have matches. And then the 6 people who win those matches will be in a fucking ladder match for crowning the first ever North American Women's Champion, which is exactly what they did with the first North American title, which Adam Cole won. Shout out. So then, all ladies start coming out, talking their shit. Jada Parker, Sol Ruka, Ariana Grace, bless her soul, doing her best.
Listen, Ariana Grace was fan-fucking-tastic, all right? She wanted to settle
I didn't say
this
she wasn't.
the way it should be settled, non-violently. Why does everything have to be a fucking fight?
Ava literally tweeted at her, like, do I have to remind you that you are a wrestler? Or, like, so those three, and then Michin throws her hat in the ring, and then Ariana's like, actually, you don't go here, so that's not allowed. Cue chaos. Every woman from the back pours into the ring, and we have a nice little brawl session. I'm about it. I can't wait to see who the 6 are.
And
or the 12
Ariana
in the combine
tries
of
to
those 6.
stop the chaos. She tries to stop the fighting. It was great.
Can't we all just get along? No, we can't.
I think the only thing I really popped about that was just Michin showing up and her being in the next team. I'm like, oh man, that's so cool. She might get actually used in the roster for once. But outside of that, I didn't really care about the whole combine stuff. I just want to get to the ladder match because the combine stuff, like, does it really matter? They are going to select who's going to win. It's not like they're going to have like a series of matches, like, or are they going to have? The combine
12,
to determine
12 women are the top 12 women in the combine, and then there will be matches, and then the 6 people who win their respective matches go to the ladder match.
I remember now. Yeah, you're right. Combine, don't care. Come back to me when they get to the actual wrestling. I'm here to watch wrestling. I'm not here to watch combines. If I did, I'd get to the NBA and
Battle Royale's not even until June. What do you want them to do? Like.
Not announce anything. Not announce it so soon. Then wait until you get closer to them.
No, this was perfect, and they're actually gonna like build to it and use it.
I could be proven wrong, but the combine thing just kind of sounds kind of boring and lame. That's why I just kind of sat back.
Getting to see women show off their strength, their speed, their agility sounds like a fantastic time.
I remember this one time where Bayley wanted to challenge Bianca to like a test of athleticism that is fondly looked upon as Bianca picking up Otis and carrying him across the line and dunking on Bayley and all sorts of fun shit. So like if we're going to get fun skits with women showing off their talents in various ways, seeing as a lot of these women are NIL athletes and have skills in other ways, shapes, or forms, I'm all fucking for it.
Like I said, I'll reserve judgment for it, and it's not necessarily just the women showing off their athleticism. If it was like the men's being determined this way, I'd still feel the same way. It's just like if it gets treated like a legit combine, like shit you saw in like Tough Enough or whatever, I'm like, I don't really care about this. I don't really want to watch this. And I feel like they'd be completely going in the wrong direction with it. But they do interesting stuff like Bianca picking up Otis. Sure, it could be fun to watch.
Okay. Well, Vince, spit or swallow?
I'm going to stay at NXT. I'm going to swallow the early return from injury from Wes Lee confronting the current NXT champion, Obafemi. I did not expect to hear Wes Lee's music hit, and I fucking popped. I was like, no way. Is he really here? He showed up. He showed off that he looked 100% healthy when he took that leap from the barricade to the ring steps. Here's the thing. I don't really care at this point if this man like becomes like a top champion. I'm just happy to see him healthy and wrestling again because I've genuinely loved that man as a person, and I just want to see him
not enough to draft him.
I completely forgot. Why are you spoiling results before the stuff gets aired?
All we've talked about is one of my draft picks and one person you didn't draft.
You also mentioned drafting Sheamus first, and then you also mentioned about not drafting Latinos in the Get-Go draft. So, like,
that's not a spoiler. That is out for people to listen to and has been out. I got to it, and I didn't even have time to get to it.
Doesn't this technically drop tomorrow, anyways?
Not technically tomorrow, no, because I have to see if I have time to edit it and upload it. So it's either going to get uploaded on Cinco de Mayo or it's going to get uploaded Monday.
Because you said Friday or Cinco de Mayo when you plugged it. And it
I
didn't
know.
happen on Friday. So I feel like tomorrow it has to drop because that was the time frame you gave.
It could, but I'm busy tomorrow, so depending on how it goes.
Matt's Shitty Kids. Remember Matt's Shitty Kids?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I was never a fan of that. I prefer it to just disappear. Allison, why you got to bring that up?
Because Matt's Shitty Kids was fucking fantastic.
He was one of Matt's shitty kids.
They called themselves MSK, and they decided to associate with Matt Riddle. That is completely on them, Vince. That had nothing to do with anyone but their poor choices in friends. Bad choices in white people to hang out with. Wesley's made that a lot, apparently.
Regardless of the fact, I'm still happy to see him return and him coming back from injury because it was a bummer. It was a bummer. There was a positive in him getting injured. Obviously, Obafemi being an NXT North American champion has been a positive. I'm looking forward to that matchup whenever it does happen. So, yeah, just swallowing Wesley being back in WWE TV.
Will told her to say it. Also, don't consider it spoilers. Consider it promotion. I am dropping little bits of nuggets for people to be like, okay, well, if Vince didn't draft Wesley, who did he draft instead? Like, they need to go watch and find out. There were 24 rounds. We've talked about 3 people in 24 rounds. 24 times 3 is what, Vince? 72. 72 overall picks. We talked about 3. It's not spoilers. You need to go check.
You did spoil that you drafted the Bloodline because we're having this whole debate on whether or not you should have additional members of the Bloodline.
That was
Again, not a spoiler. That is one of the 3 draft picks out of 72. We talked about you not doing Wesley. We talked about Sheamus. And that I was just plugging Vicente because 2 weeks ago, I said Vicente Alejandro Delgado Estrada seemed like the kind of guy that would draft Sheamus round 1. That's what I said. So I was sticking to the gimmick. Because Vicente Alejandro Delgado Estrada is here today.
Fair enough.
Go watch the show. There's 72 picks. No, I'm glad you're happy Wesley's back. Matt Shitty Kid was doing great before he got hurt. You never, regardless of poor taste in friends, you never want to see anyone hurt. We'll see what he can do. In that North American title scene, he really wants that belt back, and everyone kind of told him to go fuck himself. You haven't been around. There's a line you need to get to the back of it, including Ivar, which I thought was funny. I guess it's on me. Since we're doing NXT, ladies and gentlemen, I am swallowing reverse cowgirl.
I'm sorry.
Thea defeats JC Jane, leaving her bloodied, getting her revenge. And then Fallon Henley turns on Thea Hale. Thea came up to her. She's like, hey, are you going to be there for me? She goes, I don't know. Things haven't really been going my way. I need to figure my shit out. She goes out there. She attacks. I said it on Twitter. If babyface Fallon is a cowgirl, does that mean a heel turn makes her reverse cowgirl? And I think
that could be a title.
Already
Katie
wrote
wrote it down. I watch you guys. I know what you're doing. Vince masturbates a lot during the show.
Can't confirm nor deny that.
You can confirm if you'd like. We could ask Melissa. I bet she would confirm it for us. She pretty much
She's
agreed
not
to
in the
anything I
room.
ask. Allison knows. See, Allison said, yup. I don't know if she's talking about reverse cowgirl or that you masturbating. One of the two, but both, yes.
How would she know? How do you know? How would you know?
Because every time I'm around you, you touch yourself. Anyway, any thoughts on reverse cowgirl?
I didn't actually see her turn. I just saw the aftermath of it. I literally glanced away and I didn't actually see it. I don't care enough. The only thing of note that this kind of just like sparked the conversation on is the fact that Thea Hale just makes poor friend decisions just like Rey Mysterio does. She's 20 years old and she's on that Rey Mysterio path. Will this be a common occurrence in her career?
See, the difference between Thea and Rey is Thea's 20 years old and still learning. Rey Mysterio's been in the business for 20 years.
Also, Thea's asking the wrong person because Rey hasn't fucking figured it out yet. How can you give advice on something you don't know the answer to yourself?
What are you talking about? Advice from
Thea
Rey?
went on Twitter and asked Rey Mysterio why everyone was turning on her. You can't ask Rey that because he doesn't know why everyone turns on him. How can he?
Did he respond to it?
No, because he doesn't know.
Damn. Could have at least given her an IDK. Just be like IDK. IDK, bro. I don't know.
Katie, spit or swallow.
Why was there such a long fucking pause?
Because I forgot whose turn it was because Vince was talking, so I thought it was Vince, but I'm like, no, I just went. I had to do mental math. And the mental math on whose turn it is goes a lot slower than the mental math on 3 times 24.
Fair. Ow.
Because I can math some people.
Can't math. It's been proven many a time I can't math. I'm right once in a blue moon. I'm spitting. Which one over is it? That new tag team, Tyson and Tariq, losing to the OC. For what? For what reason? You had 2 weeks of promos for this new dominant looking tag team. Like, those guys are big meaty men. Those are some big men. You know what I'm saying? And you have them lose to the OC, who aren't even on NXT.
Technically, they are.
Technically, they're not.
Did they get drafted?
Lola Vice first match. Yeah, they got drafted over to SmackDown with Michin, but all three of them are
Which
on
means
NXT.
technically they're. Anyway. Anyway, not gonna say anything about that. There's no point in a new tag team debuting to lose to a team that's not even on the roster.
A new tag team debuting or any wrestler debuting, period, just to lose to an established wrestler currently, like of the status of the Good Brothers, or at least their current status within WWE, is just kind of baffling. Like, you did hype them up. Like, what was the whole point? The only thing I can compare this to, and I can't remember the fucking dude's name, but for maybe 4 or 6 weeks, NXT kept promoting this new wrestler that was going to show up, and he's like, oh, he's this dominant wrestler, whatever. He was getting a major high package treatment. He was just a bald white dude with no facial hair, so he didn't even have that going for him. And then he makes his entrance, gets completely destroyed and murdered by Samoa Joe. Doesn't retaliate in any way, shape, or form, and then he never shows back up in NXT again. Literally hyped this man up for 4 to 6 weeks just so that Joe can destroy him and Joe can cut a promo afterwards, and they never used Buddy ever again.
Eventually, Travis and I are going to get to NXT, and I'm going to make a mental note of this so that I can remember it when we get there. Because
you want me to try to look up the name?
Katie's already doing that. While you guys are both looking it up, though, the fact is, ladies and gentlemen, there are tiers to this, right? You know what else there are tiers to? Tiers to patreon.com/Creation World, where for $1, that first tier, you guys get 3 shows. Return to Wrestling with Matt and Travis, where we talk old school WCW. We started with the very first Nitro, and we made our way so far all the way up to Halloween Havoc 1998. Well, I'm sorry, Halloween Havoc 1998 is our next episode. The current one that is available now, Halloween Havoc, will drop this month. But right now, you can go and watch War Games Fall Brawl 1998, featuring the Ultimate Warrior. Also, Travis and I discuss how far along into WCW we're going to go, and it basically sounds like we're just going to watch the whole fucking thing. So there's that. But you guys also get Multiverse with Travis and Mara, where they break down DC animated films. And their latest one was Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1, which recently just dropped on Max. So go check that out as well for your $1. That's 2 shows that you get for the same $1. But then we also gave you a third show. We gave you If You Have to Ask. It is me and my wife, Kate, sitting down once a month to read Am I the Asshole post. Her best friend, Danny, joined us for this episode. It is called Dead Dicks and Hate Craps. If you want to know why it's called Dead Dicks and Hate Craps, you need to go pay that $1 and check it out. I mean, I feel like TNA doesn't give you as many shows for $1 as we do, so go pay for the Patreon. And then if you want to support us more, you got a little bit of extra money to throw our way. You think we're fucking awesome, which you should. You guys can check out the higher tiers, and on those higher tiers, you guys get all sorts of cool shit, you know, including this show ad-free. But if you're watching us live, we have sponsors, and our sponsors are here to tell you about great things. Travis being the sponsor this week to tell you about, well, I mean, Travis always tells you about the sponsors, but just listen to what the fuck he has to say. All right. Okay.
Y'all, I know we're having a lot of fun right now, but I actually want to talk to you about something very important: your health. You see, life is full of twists and turns, and that's why having the right health insurance matters. I want to make sure you have the coverage you need without breaking the bank, and that starts with speaking to me for absolutely no charge. Having health insurance isn't just about doctor visits, though. It's about living a healthier, happier life. Physical health and mental well-being go hand in hand, and that's why the plans I represent cover not just the physical, but the mental aspects of your health as well. And here's the deal. I'm very good at what I do. So not only can I find you the perfect plan, but I might even be able to get you one for free. That's right, free advice and a free plan. Your health is too important to compromise. So let's chat, find the right plan, and ensure your well-being. Just visit health.creationworld.com today to schedule a free consultation. The link is right here in the description. That's health.creationworld.com. Your health, your future.
And we're back. Vicente Alejandro Delgado Estrada. Spit or swallow?
Yes. Neither. I'm gonna gargle because I want to see where this angle goes before I choose to spit or swallow it. And we saw last week that there was a brief face-to-face between Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. This week, in the backstage segment, if you caught it in the background while it was I don't really remember who was being interviewed because I don't really care. Liv Morgan leaves the locker room. Not even 10 seconds later, Dominic Mysterio leaves the same locker room she did. They're teasing that this man might have found a new mommy or has a step mommy or something. Liv Morgan's revenge tour apparently is going in a different avenue to try to hurt Rhea Ripley. She took Rhea Ripley out. Now she's taking her man, quote unquote. I don't know where they're going to go with this. It feels like Judgment Day's a little bit in limbo right now, especially with Damian Priest just kind of like, don't get in my business. Like, you handle your own business. Like, I don't need Judgment Day. And then now Dom kind of like taking liberties and stuff. I don't know where they're going. I'm going to gargle it right now. I will say that it did have me intrigued, and that was probably the biggest talking point for my personal self was Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan both leaving the same locker room. What were they doing? Quickies? I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, Mommy basically did her own shit as champion, and it worked out really well for her for a very long time without the rest of Judgment Day getting involved in her shit. So maybe Damien's like, I'm just following the blueprint of the leader of Judgment Day.
Yeah, fair points. I don't know. It feels different though. I'm still like, I'm very cautious to what they're going to do. I feel like they're going to slowly like get Damian Priest out of Judgment Day, and Judgment Day is going to look completely different by the time Rhea comes back, or they might not be a Judgment Day for Rhea to come back to. The way things are going right now.
And that shit.
I hope the family all just separate.
Hold on. First and foremost, Rhea's out injured. She's never really needed the Judgment Day. Her and Dom were fun together. That whole thing can still be a thing. That was the best part of the Judgment Day. Damian Priest has won the title. He is far better off now than he ever was as part of the Judgment Day, holding Money in the Bank, not doing shit. We talked about his lack of momentum. And if we're being honest, JD McDonough and Finn are just kind of ancillary characters and a couple of fuck-ups that have no real value. So, like, yeah, break them up. Let Dom be in the story with Liv and Rhea. Let Damian go on to do his own thing and get rid of the two white guys that probably shouldn't be there anyway. I don't understand the problem.
I don't understand your problem with it. I think they've worked perfectly well together. They succeeded perfectly fine. I thought it was all working fantastically. I'm just worried. That's all. I'm just kind of worried that they're gonna like have no more Judgment Day. I don't care what you or others may dislike about Judgment Day. I fucking love Judgment Day. Jesus loves Judgment Day. Most of my friends, family members like Judgment Day. I feel like we might be in a bubble, but I like this bubble we're in, and we just don't want change. So it's a gargle. We'll see what happens with Dom and Liv tomorrow.
What's on your mind, Katie?
Hmm?
You look like you had something on your mind.
Oh, I said like 2 weeks ago that Dom's gonna fold quick as fuck with Liv because, I mean, look at her.
I would.
I would. Any lesser man would do. Liv,
I honestly don't think Kate would be mad at me either because Kate finds Liv hot too. So, like,
there you go.
You guys want to know a little fun fact?
Sure.
Melissa does not find Liv attractive whatsoever. And she would murder me if I were to fold, which I wouldn't. If the options are Rhea and Liv, I wouldn't fold. Period.
So you're a better man than Dominic Mysterio, is what you're saying. Which is probably why he got drafted away from your delegation, the Delgado delegation.
Why do you got to bring up the past, man?
Because I'm fun.
It's in the past.
You brought up stepmommy. We'll stay on step parents. Step parent porn is very popular in both wrestling and on the porn world. Stepdaddy Christian on AEW stepping up for his stepson Nick Wayne because Nick Wayne's real dad never did after Swerve showed up and beat his ass. So Christian had to. Now listen, that's semantics.
His father is no longer on this earth. Obviously, he couldn't have been there.
I would crawl out of my grave to fuck somebody up for Zoe. Just saying.
The love for a man's daughter might be different than the love for a man's son.
Real parents love all their kids the same. Especially since I only have one, so it makes it really easy. Christian is the dad that stepped up for Nick Wayne against Swerve since Nick's real dad didn't. And he even said, "I didn't forget what you did to my I didn't forget what you did to my adopted child, and I'm not gonna let that shit slide." And I enjoyed that. Christian is one of those highlights in AEW for me, like one of those big highlights, and I love it.
I feel like ripping out a dread was a tad excessive. Like fully out of his skull, that was a tad excessive. And I don't think was needed. I think you made your point, Christian.
Did you see what they did to Nick Wayne? Did you see how they left him in his father's dojo?
He shouldn't have been talking shit.
Oh, wow. All of a sudden, Swerve is the good guy in that situation now. Revisionist history is crazy.
I barely remember that feud, to be fair. I just remember Nick Wayne getting the shit beat out of him. I don't even remember the context.
Yeah, no, Nick Wayne just existed, and he was friends with AR Fox. And then
Swerve
and AR Fox just went over there and fucked him up so that AR Fox could change teams. And then AR Fox got dropped by Swerve after they fucked up Nick Wayne. He was just an innocent little boy hanging out in his dad's dojo, training to wrestle, trying to get a contract. And they beat the shit out of him for no reason.
I think he already had a contract, A, and B, he's fine.
She said
look where
he
he is
should have
now.
been talking shit.
And look where he is
After
now.
I didn't recall any of that until you started describing the segment, and I'm like, oh, I remember that shit. That shit was funny. That shit was funny. That was the first time I ever even heard of Nick Wayne.
So yeah,
okay.
swallowing stepdaddies, stepping up. Katie, spit or swallow?
This might be
I didn't take
controversial.
the low-hanging fruit.
Thank you. You've been good at that. I'm very proud of you. I would have made my own joke, but I just don't care. Controversial, possibly to some people. I'm swallowing the EVP takeover of AEW Dynamite. These
I'm
little
with ya.
fuckers, Mathematics, Nickelback, Jackson. They said, "Oh, well, Tony Khan can't be here." He tried to like zoom in, like from his Jacksonville office because he's not allowed to leave because his neck. Oh, poor baby. Fuck off. You're fine. So they said it's our show now, bitch. They made Christian the number one contender for Swerve title because rankings aren't real. They made Willow, or no, they banned Stat and Stokely from Willow's match on Rampage, and then Kenny comes back because they're in Winnipeg. It's Kenny's place. Kenny shows up. He's like, yeah, like I probably could. I was like gonna die. They said I shouldn't be here. I could have a colostomy bag for the rest of my life. It was just going on. And then Okada comes out and he's like, I'm the best in the world now, bitch. Basically what he said.
Wow.
Jungle Man comes out. They attack him. The EVPs are like, oh no, guys, don't do that. Not to Kenny, our best friend. No. EVP trigger to Kenny. There's a lot of chair shots to the stomach, and then and then FTR, both, Fear the Revolver and the bald one, they made the save. Bled into Rampage, by the way, which fucked up my recording, and I was very mad about because I had to watch the season finale of Chucky because fuck Rampage. Matt gets it. Matt understands.
Priorities.
And exactly what I said to Will because he tagged me in something. I was like, priorities are happening right now. I'll watch it later. FTR make the save. They try and wheel Kenny out in an ambulance, and EVP said, psych, and fuck him up again. I think this is funny. I'm just waiting for the cowboy to come home. I'm in. They got me hooked. I think it's funny.
So them attacking Tony Khan is when things started to turn in the positive direction for this whole EVP, Mathematics, and Nickelback Jackson era that they're in. They added Okada, then they added Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And then as much as everything was like fine and entertaining, I like the beginning, the intro part that Katie was talking about, where essentially they took over the show. I thought that made sense. It felt like very DX or NWO like, which I like because they really played into that kind of like narratives and storytelling and doing that in gimmicks when they were in Bullet Club, which is one of the reasons why they were cool in Bullet Club, because they were essentially what Will calls them anime DX, but like NWO like aesthetics. I'm gonna just spit Kenny Omega showing up because he technically wasn't ready to show back up, and he was kind of like almost forced to do so because the arena like promoted him, whether that was by fault of the arena or AEW themselves. Then they started promoting Kenny Omega, and Kenny was like, oh, I guess I'm coming back, I guess. Like, I had no fucking idea. He had family members message him and tell him, like, oh, you're coming back. You're making your return. I was like, where did you see that? It's like, oh, there's a big billboard or whatever outside the arena, and like there's signs and stuff in Winnipeg. So I'm spitting them bringing Kenny and just for this angle where I think they would have been just perfectly fine without having Kenny there. Let them in heel.
After beating up Kenny in Winnipeg, would we consider the Young Bucks Winnipeggers?
Yes.
Did Kenny get pegged in Winnipeg?
Close enough.
Winnipegging. I don't know. We should ask our fellow Winnipeggers and see what they think.
Well, also shout out to our friends over at Powerbomb Jutsu, because Dom let us know that diverticulitis is something you can cure with a proper change of diet and some antibiotics. It's not like something that you need surgery for. He works in the field, and it's not like as life-threatening, I guess, or career-ending, I should say, as Kenny made it sound. However, I'm also swallowing this segment plainly because for the first time, how long has AEW been in business?
About 5 years.
The first time in 5 years, AEW has made me actually kind of sort of like and give a fuck about Kenny Omega. I may have softened on him a little bit when he went on the show and he was like, yeah, no, I talked to CM Punk. We squashed our shit. It is what it is. I got no problem with CM Punk. He's got no problem with me, and kind of slighted the Jacksons a little bit for being children.
Which is ironic because the Jacksons were the one that were like petitioning to bring him in out of retirement and into AEW, which is ironic.
I agree, but he finally won me over. All it took was a life-threatening illness, calling the Bucks
shitbags,
getting beat down, shitbags, and getting beat down 4v1 by the Elite. I saw a lot of people talking about FTR making the save and blah blah blah. Listen, they're the fucking tag team. They hate the Bucks. Like Kenny turned babyface. I shut the fuck up. It was fine. Also, I'm weird because I don't get I feel like we could do this with anybody. Like, yes, Jack Perry has a specific role, but I don't feel like it needs to be Mathematics and Nickelback. We could have put any tag team here and it would have worked out the same, minus obviously their relationship to Kenny and blah, blah, blah. But I don't feel like they're adding anything to this in retrospect of who they are. I feel like any tag team could have done the DX role and taken over the show, beat up Tony Khan, blah, blah, blah. Would have been the same shit. For me personally. I don't give a fuck about the Young Bucks. I don't. I never have. They cannot make me.
It depends on the tag team.
They can't make me.
For instance, you can't sit there and be like, oh, you put the Acclaimed in there and it would have been the same effect. I don't know. It worked for them specifically. It worked very
because
well.
They're EVPs. But I'm saying the characters of the Young Bucks themselves are not adding to this. If any other tag team on that roster were EVPs, they could have been put in this role and delivered the exact same results, and it would have worked.
I respectfully disagree, but I'll let you have your opinion on it because I don't think you're necessarily wrong. But I'm just it's a fair and valid argument that you're making. I just don't think you're correct in it. I see it completely different. I think them being the Bucks, being who they were, just obviously it's different because I saw their work when they were being these kind of characters in Bullet Club, doing the fourth wall breaks, doing the DX chopping, doing the too sweeting NWO. That's what they added when they were actually cool, is that they combined the cool aspects of the NWO and D-Generation X into the Bullet Club, which was one of the reasons why a lot of people in the States here got really into Bullet Club because of their YouTube show being the Elite. And then since then, there's been other wrestlers and other content creators doing similar things. All the
best members of the Bullet Club are in WWE.
Not all of them, but
all of them.
Not all of them. Not all the past members.
I didn't say past. I said best. All the
best members of the Bullet Club aren't in WWE. We'll save it for the post show, but let's run down the best members of Bullet Club and see who's actually in Bullet Club. But we'll save that for later.
Yes, Katie.
Do you think we should probably move on to Backlash?
Well, I was gonna give everyone one more, and then we'd smash or pass because it's a small pay-per-view. It's only 5 matches.
Okay. Oh, this is my last one. Anyways, I'm spitting as much as I love the man and as much as I like wearing his merch. I'm spitting the whole CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, like playing tag with each other thing. I thought it was just kind of, I don't know. I just didn't hit. It didn't resonate with me. I'm just like, what was the point of like Punk be like, oh, you who Drew, I'm up here. You want to fight me? I'm all the way up here. Drew finally finds him. He's like, where's the son of a bitch? It's like, ha ha, got you. I'm actually down here now. It's like,
Was Drew stupid?
It's mind games.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought it was funny.
Waving a red flag in front of a bull. Toro.
Toro.
I don't know. I just feel like there are better ways to like wave a red flag in front of a bull, like giving them a tainted burrito and just taking away all the toilet paper in the stall and then kicking the stall door down. I think that would have been a better avenue to go with. But you know.
Listen, I love that Drew was pissed off that CM Punk got drafted before him in round 3. I love that Drew McIntyre came out and said CM Punk fractured my elbow, but I showed up because real men wear kilts. Punk's in the skybox, calls Drew a little bitch. Drew runs up there. Ron Simmons gives us the damn. Once Drew gets to the skybox, Punk ends up in the ring talking all the shit. Punk got drafted first because he's the best in the world. He doesn't pray. He makes things happen. And when he's healed, he's going to make Drew's life a living hell. I enjoyed the whole thing. I love this.
But then it's also a point that was raised. It's like, for a man that doesn't believe in prayer, why are you so mad that a man prayed for your demise? If you're such a big atheist and you don't believe in prayer, them praying is irrelevant.
No, because I also said it's the Powerbomb Jutsu. That's not, I don't understand how you guys got that out of that segment at all in any way, shape, or form. He literally said, you prayed, I don't pray, I do things. That is he made an atheist statement. I don't pray for shit. I make shit happen. That is the most atheist. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in prayer. I make shit happen on my own. That is what he said.
I don't think
you had to pray to hurt me. I just went out and did it to you. I didn't need prayer.
I don't think there was anything like consequential that happened. Like, sure, like the whole jarring back and forth.
Yet. What are they gonna do? Send Drew out there to fucking kick him in the face when he's not ready to go yet? He's not cleared.
No, you're right. They wouldn't pull a Tony Khan and bring in a wrestler that isn't cleared just to get a tag to further an angle. They wouldn't do that. So you're right. They definitely better in that aspects. I just didn't like the whole like tag you're it thing that they did. Because it's like you're calling Drew a little bitch, but you're the one in the skybox being a little bitch. It's like, I'm sorry.
No, he was playing the smart game. He knew Drew would come and find him. He said, just kidding. I'm going to make this man run all the way around the building for fun. And then I'm going to sit in the ring and I'm going to talk my shit for his entire title reign. And he did it in less time than Drew was even champion. So, like, I'm not even the biggest CM Punk guy. And I was all about this. I love this fucking feud they have.
I love how you're like, I didn't like this while wearing a CM Punk shirt.
I didn't. That's why I said I like wearing the guy's merch and stuff, but I didn't like the segments. I thought it was lame. Also, somehow Melissa found like a TikTok or an Instagram reel of someone photoshopping Rhea Ripley giving Roman Reigns a kiss. Can't really see it because of the glare, unfortunately. But yeah, so Rhea Ripley kissing Roman Reigns. So.
These people have too much fucking time on their hands and they're weird.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Because mind you, we still have like 25 minutes. Do you want Trick and Lash?
25 minutes?
Should I leave it for you?
Of course I want Trick and Lash.
Well, then I don't know what I want to do because, like, I was going to swallow the fact that Rey Mysterio talked about Dom's facial hair and called it a dirty Sanchez. I was going to, Spit Chris Jericho versus Ciabatta Bread because the learning tree is stupid and Chris Jericho looks terrible in trunks.
And Shibata should have
But
lost.
I don't think we've given enough love to the women. So I'm going to swallow Mariah May versus Serena Deeb with Toni Storm throwing in the towel to save Mariah from Serena Deeb. It makes her challenger look strong. It plays off of the affection for Toni and Mariah that they have in this weird little lesbian love triangle thing that's going on. And dude, bosom thing, big fan.
I know it's your favorite. I know it's your favorite.
No surprise.
No.
Serena Deeb's fucking fantastic. Mariah May's a great wrestler. Toni Storm is motherfucking Toni Storm, swallowing everything. Mariah Deeb Storm. Also, fuck Chris Jericho, the learning tree, and his stupid fucking shorts. He's never looked good in trunks.
Yeah. Especially now that he looks like a 50-year-old woman named Karen, but like.
Katie, spit or swallow.
So, like, I could do the Manitoba Massacre or whatever the fuck they called the street fight between Will and Sky Blue, which I only got part of because, again, my recording fucked up because the Elite take forever. But I saw things about it, and I know that was a really good match. And there was, like, a table of barbed wire, and Willow's a beast. But my main thing here is I'm swallowing Trick Williams and Lash Legend because, god damn it, I love this. I don't know what the fuck's in the envelope. Let me backtrack. Let me compose myself. So Trick comes out. He's like, "Listen, I'm an NXT champion now. Like, this is my show." Gives props to Dragunov as he should, because Dragunov did hold that shit down for a while. And then out comes Lash Legend looking like a goddess. I'm talking Hercules goddess. Beautiful. She's a beautiful lady. And obviously their sexual tension is through the fucking roof. Obviously because they're dating. And she has an envelope in her hand, and we don't get to find out what the envelope is until next week. But they're alluding to something that would be, I don't know exactly what that would be.
The NXT crowd thought she was pregnant.
Yeah, and they were like,
I thought it was
Daddy, and he said,
that.
"Excuse me." He was looking at them like, "The fuck y'all talking about?" There was like sexual innuendos about Kit Kats and Reese cups. It was a whole. I'll let Matt explain that a little better. All of that was fantastic. She was basically saying the envelope is going to contain something that will change Trick's mind on holding the NXT title and being like the face and everything like that.
Okay.
Did Noam Dar like rub his crotch against it or something? Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Like pictures of a naked Noam Dar whipping his dick on the title. That's where my mind went.
I don't think that's it.
Vince, why are you always thinking about naked white men?
Because I can't think of you all the time, so I gotta.
Yes, you can. You actually can think of me all the time. You can think of me when you're in bed with Melissa. You can think of me when you're browsing Pornhub. You can think of me all the time. I'm actually okay with it. I'm secure in my masculinity. If you want to think about me naked, think about me naked. Now, Lash was thinking about Trick naked, or at least that's what Trick thought, because he said, "You want me to take off this belt so you can unwrap me like a Reese's?" She's like, "Actually, I prefer Kit Kats." And he's like, "Well, let me break you off some." Like the whole.
I lost my mind. I was like, "No way!" This shit is top tier.
Fucking fantastic. Loved the entire thing. As you said, she has the truth in the envelope that will send his title reign crashing down. We saw Metaphor outside with the envelope, and they're like, what's in the package? She kept like looking in there. I don't know what the fuck she was looking at. I know they probably can't do it, but like
life sex celebration?
No, not life sex celebration. Okay, hear me out. Okay, listening. They cannot do this. They will not do this. It will not be a thing. But what if Lash claims that Trick got her pregnant and in the envelope is a used condom? Because he's champion now?
Why use condom in an envelope? Why not put it like in a Ziploc bag?
I mean, it could be in a Ziploc bag.
Because they're
In the envelope.
on both sides of the argument. There are players, athletes who have taken advantage of their position of power with women. There are also women who saw men in a position of power who have used the condom. They've gone through the trash to grab the condom to try and get themselves knocked up for that money.
That's true.
Again, very, very, very spicy, controversial. We'll never fucking do it. I believe Trick's got a strong pullout game. I think that's why he was looking around at the crowd like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's not Paul Heyman, right? This man knows how to pull out, and he knows how to pull out well.
Well, if there's a used condom, then there's no need to pull out. You have the condom. So.
Well, that's where I was going to go. Is Trick's going to be like, that can't be my condom. I don't use condoms. I got a strong pullout game. Anyway, they're not going to do it.
Okay. There you go.
Not yet.
That's how you. That's
just a CW.
Anyway.
Jesus.
All right. Smash your
detail.
pass, ladies and gentlemen. Backlash or Backlash, as I put in my notes because I added a K. We kicked it off. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens versus Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa in what Nick Aldis made a street fight, allowing for the debut of the newest member of Matt Ritter's Raw is Ritter roster, Tonga Loa.
I've made the executive decision. You don't get Tonga Loa. He wasn't available in the draft pool. You're not getting Tonga Loa.
So what you're saying is the show didn't go your way, and I argued with you too much, and now you're being petty. That's what I'm hearing because you said depending on how the show goes, depends on if I get him. So if I had brown nosed you a little bit, if I had looked like Dominic Mysterio with the dirty Sanchez on my lip, maybe I would have got Tonga Loa, but I'm not going to stoop to that. I'm just going to tell everyone Tonga Loa's on there anyway. He may not be on the graphic, but you guys know what the fuck's up.
He's not. He was not mentioned not once in the episode. I think everybody was expecting a Jacob Fatu, and obviously he might still be right around the corner. Tonga Loa was a complete surprise. I was like so shook because I was watching this while I was at work, obviously, because it happened at noon. I don't get out till like 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, so I fucking popped. I was excited. Now I want to see Usos versus GOD.
That's what everybody wants. That's what everyone's been wanting for fucking years. And now we actually have the opportunity.
So here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob is a Fatu. So is Solo, but Solo's kind of, he's been Solo Sikoa. We talked about how Solo didn't need the bloodline and it didn't make sense for him to join. That was a whole thing. You guys can go back like 2 years ago and watch before he showed up with the bloodline. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
So if it's already 3 people, God and Solo, Jay and Jimmy need somebody. Maybe they get their other brother. Maybe they get Jacob, and that's how they even the score. Maybe he's on the other side. Because Roman's probably not coming back for a while. The Rock said he's not coming back for a while, and when he does, he wants Cody Rhodes. He don't give a fuck about this bullshit.
They do have an honorary Us they can turn to.
Not Sami Zayn, for the love of fucking God. No.
Why'd you guys turn on Sami so hard? Like
he shouldn't have dethroned Gunther.
You're just mad it wasn't Chad.
I'm 100% mad it wasn't Chad.
It should have been Chad. You built up
Chad Gable, and then you did nothing, and then you did the exact same bullshit with less time with Sami.
Very rarely will you hear Matt Ritter cheer for a white man named Chad. But Chad fucking Gable, baby. Baby Kurt Angle, he's that one Chad. He's my one Chad. Every white guy gets one Chad to like. He's my Chad.
All right, fair.
Smash Tonga. I was kind of disappointed. I wanted to see after everything that's happened. I kind of wanted to see Tama and Solo really go in there and beat the shit out of Randy and KO. I feel like especially early on, KO and Randy really dominated. I get it. They're Randy Orton. They're Kevin Owens, but I wanted to like establish them as these fucking people, and the best way to do that is I kind of wanted Brock Lesnar versus John Cena, or Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton that time that Brock came in and busted Randy's head open with his elbow, where when Brock came back and he was just brutalizing motherfuckers and beating everyone. That's what I wanted. But
I love that Izzy makes his appearances, by the way. Every time.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't show up like in a black hoodie. Mostly all the Bloodline members make a shock appearance in interference. That's how Solo debuted. That's how Jimmy turned. Jay's actually done that before. It's like
Tama was in a black hoodie, wasn't he?
He was the black hooded
Well,
figure.
it's because Tonga was under the ring and fucked up his appearance to take the ref out. He was late. The ref pulled himself out.
Was he?
Yeah, so there's a video going around of someone who's like behind commentary, and you can see Tonga like he's like a split second too late to like get out from underneath the ring. It's like man's just got here and he's getting roasted.
Maybe he had a monitor under there to try to watch things, but there was like a little like tape delay.
There's a delay.
You know? There was a delay. It's like, oh shit! It's like here's my cue.
It's possible. I don't know. People chill under those rings for long periods of time. I don't know what the hell goes on under there.
Yeah.
Maybe he was taking a piss in a bottle and he had to finish it up real quick before he could get his pants up and get out there.
At least he didn't take a nap like Hornswoggle did and completely miss his cue.
Smash for me, Katie.
Smash.
Vince.
I'm all about GOD. Smash.
All right. Bailey, Pamela Martinez, as Vince redubbed her, defends and retains her championship against one Tiffany Stratton and Naomi. Smash or pass?
Smash. They did a really good job. Trinity and Naomi and Tiffany had a good interaction. The spot on the outside where Tiffany does that whole like barrel roll. I don't even know what the fuck you call it.
It's a cartwheel.
Cartwheel? Like that cartwheel, like Alabama slam thingy. It's so cool. She's just so fucking cool. And she looks fantastic every single time. Bailey, obviously, she never really misses in the ring. She's always like a solid B+, solid ace up a sleeve when you really need a good match. And Naomi just is always great with all her like moves, the athleticism. I liked it. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was the proper results. There was a moment there with Naomi and Bailey. It's good stuff.
So Zoe went down for a nap like right as the show started. She was like, I'm gonna watch Wrestling with Daddy and blah blah blah, and Bailey Bianca Belair and Io Sky and blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't think Io's gonna be there, baby. But she was all excited about Bianca Belair. She wants a Bianca Belair action figure. Bianca Belair and Io are her two favorite wrestlers. She was all hyped for it. And then like the show started, and I'm like, you can go finish eating your food, or you can go take a nap, but you need to sit down and do one or the other. She goes, I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm like, all right, cool. So we put her down. So it was just me and Kate. Kate was playing Sims the whole time. Kate's favorite move is the Alabama Slam. That's what, when I made her back in the day, that's what she wanted as her finish. So Tiffany doing 2 Alabama Slams onto the table was like the only thing that really caught Kate's attention. So smash.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Damian Priest. You're curious about what?
Why she likes the Alabama Slam so much.
She thinks it's a cool fucking move. It is. Damian Priest versus Jey Uso, with Damian Priest retaining his World Heavyweight title thanks to the Judgment Day helping him despite him telling them to go fuck themselves. Smash or pass?
I'm going to smash because of the actual match itself. I thought it was a good match. I enjoyed the match personally. Then again, I do watch a lot of Judgment Day stuff with rose-colored glasses, even though they're not really actually rose-colored from the visuals. So I enjoyed it. I just kind of, like, again, like the aftermath stuff is what really gets you talking, because it's like he's stopping Finn and JD from attacking Jay at post-match. He's like, no, he's done. He doesn't need all this, which leads me to believe he might be turning face or just turning away from it.
I was just gonna say you just gargled shit because you were all upset about Judgment Day breaking up, and now you're smashing. You got me.
I'm
so
smashing
confused.
the match. I'm smashing the match. We're talking about the matches, aren't we?
Well, I mean, we're talking about everything.
Well, I can't.
Your
really
feelings on it. Your feelings on it. If you didn't like the match because of your feelings about them breaking up, like
no. I kind of took myself out of the moment, and I just focused on the match itself and the story within the match, and I enjoyed the match. So I'm getting it's getting a smash. Post match stuff is getting a pass.
Okay, Katie.
I'm passing. This was the perfect opportunity. I know Damien just won it. Perfect opportunity to make Jay the champion.
No.
That crowd would have lost their damn minds more than they already did. Which shout out to them for using their phones to do the thing. That was it. There were still a lot of them off beat because white people don't know what the fuck they're doing. But like the majority had it. That shit was crazy. He had the best entrance in Paris. Oh, Leon, basically. But like he had the best entrance, hands down.
Second best.
Cody doesn't count because Cody has a good entrance everywhere he goes.
It's not my fault he had the best entrance.
I think the phones beat Cody with everyone singing Randy's theme and a very close second behind Jay.
I think it goes Cody, Jay, and then Randy. That's just me.
I don't give a fuck because the only entrance that matters are the Fiend and the Undertaker and Bray. Well, just Bray in general. Everything else is behind them in the history of professional wrestling. Hands down, period. I'm just saying in general, I don't care about entrances because a bar has been set and no one can reach it.
What the fuck about Aleister Black?
Oh, that's what Black's
entrance?
NXT. Yes.
NXT.
It was cool, but it was not Bray Wyatt or The Undertaker. It was really cool.
With
but it was
the
not
theme, though, it was better.
With the fucking theme, the aesthetic? No, I'm sorry. Like, it was so fucking cool.
You can be sorry all you want, Vince. Kabuki Warriors versus our new women's tag team champions, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. What, Katie?
Did you? I don't think you smashed or passed the last match.
I didn't. Honestly, I didn't give a fuck about the match. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So the pass
it existed. I didn't. I was doing something on my phone. I didn't really pay attention. It wasn't a pass. It wasn't a smash. I didn't care.
It was it's here.
No sitting on the fence, sir. Just pass it.
It's not sitting on the fence. There was nothing in this build that made me give a fuck about this match. It wasn't two guys going at it that I was like, this is going to be a banger fucking match. And then, like you said, there was all the bullshit at the end where Damien retained. Am I frozen?
No, you're not.
You froze for a second. Okay. We could still hear you, but you were just frozen for a second. Okay.
Because Vince was doing things. But all the bullshit where Damien retained because of interference, but he didn't want interference. I just didn't care. I don't care if Judgment Day breaks up. I think everyone's better off if they do. Honestly, I do. Damien's competitor, like Jay, I love Jay. They didn't have a great build to this to where I was like, I really want to see Jay win, or like, it was what it was. So, Kabuki Warriors versus your new women's tag team champions, Jay Cargill and Bianca Belair. The Big S Storm. Smash or pass. New champs.
Well, I see what you did there. Very nice. I'm gonna smash.
I didn't do that.
I know you didn't do it, but like I appreciate it. Now I'm gonna smash. Even though I have no idea what the fuck was going on during that match at one point with who the fuck was legal, clearly the ref didn't either. That kind of took me out of the match for a hot second, like towards the end because they couldn't figure it out. But the tag team moves that Jade and Bianca do are great. Her doing Jaded, like throwing Kyrie up, kind of how she did exactly how she did to Sky Blue in AEW, the same way on the shoulders, and then kind of just toss her up, catch her into Jaded. Dope as fuck. I will never get mad at seeing that. or any iteration of how she does that. And then Bianca with KOD. Bianca's now Grand Slam. Yes?
I don't know if you need NXT for Grand Slam.
You do need.
I don't know how they count it, because I feel like they've counted it without it to some people. So
No.
Yeah, they don't acknowledge NXT. Charlotte doesn't
Crown.
acknowledge her title reigns. Half the time they don't acknowledge the people who are NXT Women's Champion. I don't know.
Now, to beat Grand Slam, you need to have that NXT tag and both main roster women's titles.
regardless, she's main roster Grand Slam because they never gave her a chance with NXT. So
I'd give her Triple Crown. I think that's the actual title.
whatever.
Are you smashing
She's
or
won
passing?
a lot of fucking titles.
I'll smash it. Despite the botches, I did enjoy the match itself. Weekly Warriors damage control, very much like everything they do in ring wise. And then Bianca, Jade, they're fucking stars. You got to do something with Bianca if she's not going to be in the title picture. And if you really want to continue to elevate Jade Cargill without forcing her to be in singles matches while she slowly like kind of tips her toes in the deep end without having to stay there the whole time, like it's really good. It's smart booking decision. You know, Kendrick and Drake and J. Cole are are called the big three supposedly, but the big three are Bianca, Jade, and Trinity, Naomi. So glad to see two-thirds of the big three get their titles.
You know, I'm smashing. Katie talked about the Kairi Sane spot, which was great. Watching Bianca and Jade. Now everyone can shut up about how WWE wasted Jade Cargill. Blah, blah. Now she's got a fucking belt on her. So everyone can shut the fuck up about how WWE has treated and used Jade Cargill, because it was, they signed Jade Cargill and they don't use her. Now she's out. Now she's being used. And now she's a champion.
Mm-hmm.
Which is such bullshit, because she debuted at the Royal Rumble, had a marquee match at WrestleMania, and won the titles on her third PLE. So everyone can suck my dick, because like she's being used fine. Just shut up.
Speaking of sucking dick, AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes, smash or pass?
I'm gonna be honest, I really wasn't paying attention to those matches.
Me either.
I was
now just watched it.
All right. So again, this was another match that honestly, it was a really good match. I enjoyed it. The thing was, I knew it was a good match. I didn't give a fuck about the build to this match. I knew going in this was the opposite of Damian Priest and Jey Uso, where like it didn't really have a build. It kind of did, but I didn't give a fuck about it. I didn't care about the build because I knew they were going to go have a good match, even though the build was mostly AJ versus LA Knight to get AJ in the spot against Cody, and then whatever. Everything felt kind of quick. The draft was in there. It took away from a lot of the build because of the draft and all that. So, but the match itself was really fucking good, as you'd expect with an AJ Styles Cody Rhodes match. At one point, AJ Styles hits a burning hammer, which really excited Corey Graves. Cody kicked out at one, and then fucking Rhodes up, got up, scared the shit out of, because we don't say the other thing around here. He Rhodesed up, scared the shit out of AJ Styles. Cody retains, smash.
I did see the Cody cutter off the top rope, because good lord.
Oh, that was good. It almost didn't land good because AJ wasn't fully flattened, but he was still able to, just kind of goes to show how great AJ is. But I am going to smash it. What I did watch, what I didn't see, I enjoyed. I thought it was very well done. Plus, AJ Styles wore purple, my favorite color. He hardly ever wears purple. I guess a smash just in of itself.
Do you know why he wore purple?
Yeah, they said it on commentary because
joining the Judgment Day.
Oh, I really hope so. We need new members.
Different shows.
Fuck, man. We can't get
Damian Priest is gonna leave. Dom is gonna leave, and Judgment Day is gonna be 3 white guys.
2 former Bullet Club members, leaders.
No, technically, it'd be 1 white guy and 2 newly drafted Latinos. Judgment Day are Latinos now, as per the Getcho draft.
Vince, what was your overall smash or pass on Backlash?
Overall, I'm going to smash it. The crowd was fantastic. They were good on SmackDown. They were good this whole weekend. Shout out to them. I love these PLEs outside the country. Always bring the energy. Bring one to Mexico. Why the fuck don't you? We finally got Mania in Vegas. Let's get a PLE in Mexico. I don't even want a Big Four. Give me a fucking Backlash. Give me like a Battleground. Something in Mexico.
You got a petition for 5 years to get that, so have fun.
You know
I've
what
already
I want?
started for a year.
I want them to build a temple with a wrestling ring at the top of the temple so we can wrestle on top of a temple.
Oh, that sounds like something Lucha Underground might have done.
Royal Rumble, where you get thrown out and then you tumble down the fucking temple stairs.
Oh my god.
And everyone has to
Jesus.
race up the temple to get in the ring to fight. That'd be fantastic. Anyway,
Is it-
Oh my god. I'd
You-
be wheezing as soon as I get to the top.
You legit just ripped off Mortal Kombat Armageddon. That's
that's
legit.
not. That is not the point. Anyway, I am smashing Backlash. Katie, what about you?
Oh, it's a smash. For 5 matches, international crowds. Now we get to come back to America and be like, what? Fuck you guys. Sucks.
Yeah. U.S. crowds suck. Except for Chicago. We do
Chicago
it right.
is the best U.S. crowd. It is.
Oh,
the only
both
good
of you
US
can
crowd.
suck
It is!
Chicago's dick.
It
Jesus
is!
Christ.
Facts.
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, I am Chicago's dick, so all I'm doing is sucking myself off. A. B.
And if you could, why wouldn't you?
I'm just saying it's probably the best dick you could suck when it comes to professional wrestling. So, like, everyone should suck Chicago's dick. Katie, please plug yourself.
Yeah, okay. You can follow me on Twitter, GatorWrestling13, link to about to all things Sheila Showcase, twitch.tv/Sheila Showcase, and youtube.com/Sheila Showcase, typically Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Patreon.com/Sheila Showcase. There's something on there now that I just uploaded, so if you go and pay for May's month, you get all of the stuff that I have done on there before. I plan on utilizing that more now that I have time. And I mean, your girl's got to start getting some money for Mania, so help a bitch out, please and thank you. Thank you, finally.
Vince?
Shit.
Go ahead and check out the Get Show podcast at Get Show Podcast, wherever social media is available, Twitter, Instagram, what have you. Go check out the latest episode. We did the racial draft where we draft wrestlers into a specific delegation. I drafted for the Latinos, find out who I drafted, who got stolen from me, who I didn't get to draft, all that fun stuff. Check out youtube.com/SCSVince, where we'll be having a more formal WWE draft featuring the Warden, Matt Ritter, and Kitty Can See Bay. Let us know what you guys thought. We'll be releasing the rosters after the episode drops. If it doesn't drop on Cinco de Mayo, which it officially is, it'll drop Monday, May 6th. It just depends on how much sleep I get and how much work I get. So
Let us know who had the best roster because it's probably Roz Ritter. And you guys can
No,
follow
it's not.
Roz Ritter, Matt Ritter, at MattRidder, on Twitter only, or at Getting Off for your horror content, Matt Ritter for your wrestling content, everywhere else on socials at Smackin It Raw, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. We are back next week with Getting Off. It is the Katie Horror Showcase 2, where we do news and rumors, and I make Katie watch Night of the Demons 2. The week after that is our panel episode. We have 5 people on the panel. The show after that. Sorry, the show after that,
Yeah.
2 weeks. We have 5 people on the panel. It is Young Kings Wrestling, Reek and TC, The Will Gray, Katie, and I. The topic is zombies. We each picked a zombie movie. We will watch all 5 movies, and then we will break them down and discuss our thoughts, why they were picked, if everyone else liked them or not. It's going to be a good time, so look out for that stuff as well. For Vicente Delgado Estrada. No, I fucked that up. Vicente Alejandro Delgado Estrada. I was getting ready to roll my R too soon. And Miss Katie Kinsey, baby. I'm the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter, and this has been your #1 podcast on places where you can find people having sex on the internet.
Feliz 5 de Mayo.
You know how I say, like, you have one job, Vince? That's not true. Your job is thumbnails and intros and outros. And I saw you fold your arms. I'm like, he's not going to run the outro. I need to click in there real quick and hit it.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering why it took a minute to play the outro.
Because it's your job.
Well, I didn't play the intro, so I assumed I wasn't playing the outro.
Because it was also your job.
Because sometimes I go in there thinking I'm going to hit it, and then you beat me to it. So if it's a thing where if I'm present, I am always doing it, then I'll do it. Just don't touch it, and I'll just do it. We'll have that going, and there won't be any hiccups.
What did you want to debate on the post show, or are you just going to bed? Because you look tired as fuck.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Like halfway through the show, I think at like the 1 hour mark, I just started crashing, and I'm like, how am I gonna make it through the rest of the show? But no, we were gonna discuss like the best members of Bullet Club and whether or not they're the best ones are currently in WWE. But that could be a discussion for another day. I will
rest in peace, Vince.
Or pieces at this point. I don't care. Like I'm saying.
Look at him. Look how cute he is.
Oh, speaking of Undertaker, right above there, you got like this little comic strip poster of Kane that actually got signed. Just like right there, like up above and stuff. So slowly building
Finn
up.
Balor,
What about
AJ
Finn
Styles, the
Okay.
Good Brothers, and God are in AEW. Those are the
Cody
only members of
Rhodes.
the Bullet Club that matter.
You said AEW.
Or in WWE that matter.
Why'd you
The
go
only ones.
about Cody?
Because, like, he was, but was he really?
Yeah. He was a full-fledged member of the Bullet Club.
For, like, how long?
He was there for years. At one point, he was actually a leader of the Bullet Club.
Yeah, but, like, nobody watched independent wrestling back then but you. You were one of, like, 5 people that watched that shit and cared.
Everyone watched that shit. You were one of the
I didn't watch that shit. Katie, were you watching that shit?
What was I watching?
Were you watching when Cody Rhodes was in the Bullet Club?
No. Cody Rhodes was a member of Bullet Club between December 2016 and January 2019, according to Google.
There you go. See,
Okay, then yeah,
they did the bloodline Civil War aspects of it with Cody and Kenny in there, and then Adam Cole was.
That wasn't really wasn't Bloodline. Bloodline was when it was the elite version of Bullet Club versus like God, Bad Luck Fale.
No.
People in Bullet Club.
So when it started, it was a civil war because there was Team Cody and Team Kenny, in the sense where like it was Jay versus Roman at one point. So it was like a whole civil war thing that Cody did because he was trying to get like the leadership of Bullet Club away from Kenny Omega.
I watched
Did
Being
he
the Elite.
succeed?
I know.
So what?
Did he succeed?
For like a while there, and he kind of teased like changing the Bullet Club logo, and people like were like up in arms about it, and like his whole bit the whole time was like Bullet Club is fine, Bullet Club is fine. It was a fun time. It was a fun time back when the Bucks were entertaining, and Cody was just kind of like doing prickish heel shit that MJF does. So, anyways.
Oh.
I'll catch you guys like later on. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm assuming the title is either Paul Heyman's weak pullout game or reverse cowgirl. And I was thinking about.
I have written down A lot of these are just gonna be bullet points. I feel like every white guy gets one Chad. That's your bullet point right there.
That's
Real men wear kilts. Father who stepped up. JD was face fucked. Paul Heyman's pull-out game weak. Reverse cowgirl.
Is it cool if I just go with reverse cowgirl? It'd be the easiest thing.
Well, I was going to say weak pull-out game or reverse cowgirl, but if you like reverse cowgirl and Katie likes reverse cowgirl,
I can do weak pull-out game because the way you had said it, you said Paul Heyman's weak pull-out game. But if we shorten it to just weak pull-out game, it works because it can be properly and it's not just a second versus the title.
Because we also talked about, or you could just make it pull-out game because we talked about Trick too.
That's true.
All right. All for reverse cowgirl. Say aye.
I don't have a horse in this race. I don't care. I'm too tired to care. I'm sorry, guys.
All
Just figure it out.
Just
Figure it
Pick
out.
something then, since he's tired.
Yeah,
It
dude,
doesn't vote.
how about I just do both? And then you just pick which one you like the best and send it to Travis.
Sounds good.
All right. So is it weak pull-out game or just pull-out game?
Pull-out game, reverse cowgirl. Both are 2 words. Should make it easy on you.
Yeah, because weak pull-out game we can do perfectly fine. I just didn't want to know so that I can.
Surprise me. Whatever you're feeling when you do it.
Because it's just going to be Bianca and Jade. That was my idea for the thumbnail, regardless. With maybe CM Punk like in the background, just waving hello. Ironically.
I was thinking about the Bloodline and Jay backstage with Tonga now there, who's on Raw's Ritter. Whatever.
He's now
whatever you figure out, do your thing.
Yeah. All right.
You're tired. You're not thinking straight. Go to bed.
I'll do it in the morning. If Travis hits you up, just put the blame on me, as Akon once said. Good night, guys. Enjoy the rest of the stream.
Love you. Bye. Also, Katie, you're gonna be here by yourself because you know what time it is.
Push-up break. Got it. I know you can't see him and he can hear me, but I'm texting him all of the things I just said. I listen when people talk, and that's how I get all of the bullet points. I can do it for this show. I can't do it for my own show, though. So that's always fun. Get set up for next week. This is exciting.
Somebody say tits out for the draft. Did I hear tits out for the draft?
Did I hear tits out for the draft?
That's what I'm gonna hashtag when Vince posts it, when I retweet it.
Tits out for the draft.
Yep. You do solo Katie all the time. You couldn't just fill that brief little 2 to 3 minutes by yourself.
I kind of did. It's different when I'm just it's different when I do solo skating, because when I'm doing solo skating, I have shit to talk about. When it's a post-show pee break for you, I'm just sitting here being like, well, what's up, guys?
I got questions for you. I know you have not seen. Yeah, well, I'm gonna check some things. I know you have not seen Pet Sematary 2.
No.
Have you seen any of the Pet Sematary movies?
Mm-mm. Don't be mad.
Have you? No, I'm not mad. Listen, I'm trying to figure out shit I'm gonna make Katie watch, right?
Fair. Okay.
Because I feel like, despite your reluctancy, you enjoyed Night of the Demons to an extent. Like, it wasn't your favorite thing. You're probably not ever going to go watch it again, but like, it wasn't something that you watched and you were like, okay, fuck you, I hate you, Matt. Like, it was at least a decent time.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it was better than?
Barricade.
Exactly. Very good.
Hey, I didn't know about Barricade. I hadn't seen Barricade.
Hey,
We just were like,
Barricade
hey, we're going to do WWE horror movies. And it was shit.
And we said, oh, this is trash.
Okay, so you haven't seen any Pet Cemetery movies. Because as of right now, Night of the Demons 2 is next. And I really want to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you because, again, I don't want to fuck up your perception of it before we go into it.
I understand.
I really want to tell you. I'm here
probably...
after what?
No, I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know when I'm gonna watch it because I also have Friday off, so I don't know when I want to watch it.
I was gonna say you should tell me after you watch it so I can tell you after you've seen it.
I might watch it Monday because I have Monday off too.
Yeah,
I'll watch it Monday, so it gives me more time to like get everything else prepared.
And then possibly if we can work out the Daily Motion deal, Night of the Demons 3, and then the remake. So that's like 2 months out of Katie Horror Showcase shows. Have you seen From Dusk Till Dawn?
Let me look at the poster. 1996. The Heroes Born. Oh, it's that movie. Saw a picture of somebody. I feel like I don't know if I've seen the full thing.
Okay.
So that's on the list. Probably, I'm assuming.
So here's my thing. Like, we have categories, right, for the panel episodes. And I had like an alternate for the zombie movies, which was Pet Cemetery. And that, or Pet Cemetery 2 specifically, because it's my favorite. It's the one that I remember. And then if we do vampires, I have 2 picks. One of those picks I know that you have seen, From Dusk Till Dawn. I'm not 100% sure.
I want to know what your other one is.
Queen of the Damned.
I feel like I haven't seen the full thing.
Holy, you. So again, we're in a situation where regardless of what I pick, you're going to end up watching both, which will be nice.
Yeah. That's the thing is like a lot of like horror movies I've probably seen like bits and pieces of as like stuff I just put on TV when I was like a little younger and like wasn't fully into movies like I am. Now we're just getting off. I was saying, like I told you, I have my entire list of movies for every single panel episode that we are going to do. I was prepared. I am prepared. I'm very proud of myself.
I only have one pick for horror movies that I hate.
What did I end up picking? Oh, I already know what I picked. I told you what I picked.
Vaguely remember, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see, because you actually have the master list of the panel stuff. We just rambled a bunch of shit off and I had you write it down. I don't even have it, so I can't make a list of everything because I don't know, but I'll have something for everything. Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out, like, going forward with the Katie Horror Showcases and the shit that Matt makes Katie watch, like, what am I going to make Katie watch? So Pet Cemetery is on the list. Maybe all 3. We'll see when we go to I'll wait until after we do the panel for vampires to decide.
You mean zombies?
So here's my thing. No, for vampires to decide whether we're going to do Dusk Till Dawn or
Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned. Because my love for Queen of the Damned is mostly for the fact that my favorite singer from my favorite band does the vocals for all of the singing in the movie.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh. Yeah. I feel like I have only seen part of this. like, why have I only seen part of this? Like, I knew Aaliyah was her, but like, what the fuck? I suck. Sorry. I watch movies now, so.
You do. And so I was watching Night of the Demons too, and I was like, you know what, this is kind of cool because like I'm giving so a lot of horror fans when like their friends are getting into them, they're gonna give them, you should go watch this, you should go watch this, you should go watch this. It's all like the major franchise, mainstream, or maybe like if you're a snob, the A24 shit where elevated horror. But like you're getting the sub education. So like we've done most of the major franchises, right? Like we still have the Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Lecter franchise on the list,
which is our next one.
I don't know if I'm going to subject you to all of the Children of the Corn movies because there's like 40 fucking Children of the Corn movies.
I don't know. But I don't want to.
At some point, you got to watch them. At least the first one, and then like maybe 4 for sure. Listen, that might be on shit that Matt made Katie watch.
Called Children of the Corn since they were a small child. Like me and all the cousins, we were called Children of the Corn. I was like, I don't think we were that bad. But like, damn. I just don't. I'll give you 1. I'll watch 1.
I need 2.
I'll watch 2. No more.
Okay.
No more.
Unless, well, watch 2 and then see how you feel about doing more. But here's my argument. You have to see the first one. Like, if you're gonna watch anything Children of the Corn, you have to see the original. Everything is based on. Children of the Corn 4, The Gathering.
I really thought that's what it was called. You really had me.
No. Children of the Corn 4, The Gathering is my personal favorite because it is from my it's the one I remember the most from my childhood.
I should just keep this tab open. Children of the Corn 4.
Naomi Watts.
Karen Black, Brett Jennings, Brandon. I don't know what that is. Okay. Mark Salling, hey. He was on Glee. Okay.
Naomi Watts.
Did you hear me? I said Naomi Watts.
Just saying. So yeah, we'll have those 2 on there.
Okay.
Well, yeah, no, children, that's not children.
Children are occurred. Are you making a list?
No, I want to look something up because I feel like there's someone else in that movie. Why did it not come up that way? There it is. Which one was she in then? Oh, Harrison Young, who was just in Devil's Rejects as the dad, or House of 1,000 Corpses as the dad.
Oh, I was like, Kevin Bolton. That's not correct. Okay.
But yeah, no, Children of the Corn 4 is the one I remember the most from my childhood. There's also another Children of the Corn, I'm guessing 5, that has someone famous in it early on. And I like those where like you see people early on famous. Yes, Eva Mendes is in Children of the Corn 5.
For what?
And Alexis Arquette. Alexis Arquette's there too.
Shout out, Ruby. Village of the Damned tried to be Children of the Corn, says Jess.
Kind of, yeah, it did. David Carradine's in there. I don't even know if you know who David Carradine is.
That name does not sound familiar to me in any way, shape, or form.
Eva Mendes, Alexis Arquette, Ahmet Zappa's in there. You might know him if you saw him. Kane Hodder's in it, by the way. Kane Hodder's in 5.
What a guy.
So maybe I'll get 3 out of you if the first
Maybe.
you don't hate.
I mean, I do love Kane Hodder. That's not fair. That's disrespectful. You should have told me that.
Kane Hodder and Eva Mendes.
The fact that I didn't even notice Kane Hodder was in whichever fucking movie of the Devil's Reject trilogy.
Okay, so I think I fucked that up. So I
you
think Kane
lied.
Hodder. No, I didn't. No, Kane Hodder isn't it. If you go look at IMDb,
Okay.
he is. But I think I fucked up who played who. So I think Kane Hodder was one of the SWAT team members, which is probably why you didn't recognize him. And then Tyler Mane, who played Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's remake, was actually Rufus underneath all the shit. I said Kane Hodder was Rufus in the Iron Man armor, and it was Tyler Mane.
Because I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
Oh, you had me.
Because I think I said Tyler Mane playing Tiny, and that was not right. No, Tyler Mane was Rufus.
You did say that.
And Kane Hodder was one of the SWAT team members, I believe.
And I thought I was the one who was drinking on that stream. That's crazy.
I didn't write it down in my notes. I just put it in there, and then I just said it as I thought I wanted it to be. All right.
He said, this is how it should have been. This is what I'm going to say.
I think I did that because... All right, hold on. While we're here. Fache book.
Fache book. Fuck. I've never heard it said like that.
What the fuck is this? Am I even on? No, why did it not take me to mine? Just took me to like a generic Fache book page.
You make me laugh every time.
Also, why did it not pull up the picture? This is fucking weird. All right. Let's try this. In the albums, grid view, feed view, grid view. It's doing a weird thing. All right. So, present, share screen, Fache book. So there's a really fat, unbearded Matt who looks terrible next to a very tall man. And there he is as Rufus with the Red Hot Pussy Lickers. So, yes, he was Rufus.
He's very tall. My lord.
He is very tall, which is why I was thinking Tiny in my head, because he's so fucking tall.
That's fair. That's fair.
You saw me next to Danny Trejo, and you've seen me in real life.
Danny Trejo es muy pequeño.
Here is...
And I have seen you in real life.
Me. Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't close it. Here is me and Rufus.
You mean Charlie?
Well, he was Charlie in that. You can also see him as from Halloween, where he was the trucker that Michael Myers fucked up and took his jumpsuit while he was taking shit. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Me and Captain Spaulding.
That's so cool.
He looks like he could be my grandpa.
You do look like you're related.
Me and Otis.
That's crazy. I'm like, that's what he looks like.
Kane choking me.
I know. When you first showed me a picture, I was like, that's cool as fuck.
And then me and Kane hanging out because he already choked me once, so now we're cool.
You said, all right, you don't have to choke me this time. Can you just like hang out? Yeah, homie. Just said, look at that hottie. Obviously talking about you.
Speaking of tall guys.
Very tall. Wow. Well, no, he definitely looks very tall on screen too.
Tony Todd does, yeah.
Tony Todd.
There's me, Pinhead. So I'm about as tall as Pinhead.
Now we know.
Yep. Speaking of tall men, Uncle Kevin.
Okay.
I'm almost as tall as one of the guys that played Michael Myers. So, like, that's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool. I think this has just become like a height comparison.
I don't remember if it was Steve Dash or Mark Graham, but one of them was very upset that this Carbonite was of his Jason, and I had Kane Hodder sign it. But I also got all of them to sign it because they only made one version. I was going to say they only made one version. Oh, yeah. By the way, more really fat Matt. That was like 360-pound Matt right there with the one and only Brad Dourif, who we just saw on the season finale of Chucky, and my little Chucky doll.
Your little Chucky. Brad Dourif. Can we talk about Fiona for a second? Good Lord. She killed. It's not even fair. That family's too famous.
Oh, here will be. I got a cool height comparison for you, right? So there's how tall China is, right? If I'm 5'8", she's probably like 5'10".
Yeah.
And here is me and Lita, again, at my biggest, who is shorter than me. And there's Trish Stratus in the background.
Shout out to Trish. So she's probably like, how tall are you? 5'8"? Is that what you said?
About 5'8".
So she's probably like 5'6", maybe?
5'5", 5'6", more than likely.
She's tiny. Taller than me.
Tiny.
She's tiny. She's probably my height.
Fucking Danielle Harris.
Pussy.
Catherine Isbell, we talked about, she was in See No Evil 2. Kate in the corner watching me pose with Catherine Isabel.
Kate's like, wow, great. Cool.
Where did she go? Oh, there it is. She was really cool.
Who is that?
That's Scout Taylor Compton from
yeah. So
like different. She came in for that pose. That wasn't like me being one of those creepy wrestling fans. Like, she was real cool.
That's fair.
Came up, gave me a hug, and then Christina Klebe.
There you go. There you go. God, you've met so many people.
I drafted his family, so you know.
The Quiche. Worst father of the year.
Worst father of the year.
Drop a diss track on Hulk Hogan, but can't be there for your fucking sons. Okay.
Listen, all right, Hulk Hogan deserves all the diss tracks.
Yeah, but like, show up, Quiche. Goddamn.
A real quick shot, blurry as fuck, of me and Robert England.
What a guy.
What a guy.
I'm so mad, like, the timing of everything, like, didn't work out, because it was, like, Mania, and then Steel City Con was the weekend before my sister's wedding, and then it was, like, my sister's wedding, and I could have met John Carpenter, and I didn't get to go.
Look at babyface Matt, no tattoos on his arms, hanging out with Mickey James and Kenny Dykstra.
So weird.
This was at a concert. Like, they were at a concert in Chicago, and I just was like, oh, I'm a wrestling fan. Let me go say hi. A concert.
Yeah,
me and Ron Simmons.
Damn.
That was probably like when I was in my most fit as well. So, like, you've seen me at my heaviest and prime scumbag, man. Yeah. Random picture of Bobby Lashley, who I also drafted.
Big Bob.
Victoria for Hall of Fame.
Victoria for Hall of Fame, always and forever. She better go. TC will lose his fucking mind if she gets inducted in Vegas. I will also
feel like I could have done. I could have been Freddie. I could have taken her.
It's disrespectful.
I'm just saying. I don't even think I have that glove anymore, honestly.
It's all right. We'll talk about Heather next week.
I don't have that autographed glove anymore.
What happened to it?
Honestly, I don't know. I forgot that I even had that signed by her. Now I don't know where the fuck that glove is.
That's terrible. No, I know what you're gonna do tomorrow.
Oh no, everything's unpacked. I physically don't have it. I just don't know. There's no way for me to remember what the fuck happened to that glove.
You don't have storage anywhere or anything?
No, not that the glove would be in. Not that I can think of.
Don't know.
By the way, you like how I'm like hanging out in my Bray Wyatt shirt, Sister Abigail's Family of Freaks?
I mean, of course. It's only fitting.
All right, enough of that.
Your Fache.
My Fache book.
I now have 2 movies that could be in my most hated or least liked.
Oh, really?
I was like sitting here thinking about it. I was like, oh my god, I really hate that movie too. So when the time comes, I have 2 choices for a few of them because I was like, either would be fun, but we'll see what people pick.
Have you seen the original Stephen King's It
Oh yeah,
with Tim Curry?
yeah. Oh, many times.
Okay. Just checking.
No, I love those movies. Well, the miniseries or whatever the fuck it was. That and then the new ones that they made. Because those kids are so fucking funny.
Reanimator is probably going to be on that list because that's another one that I feel like there's a bunch of like lower tier horror movies that are like cult classics that I feel like for your horrorcation you should check out. Like
my horror occasion.
Yeah.
Listen, I feel like how long ago did we start doing this shit with me watching movies? 2 years ago.
Right, but now we're getting into like, so we've done all the big shit. You've seen everything all the way through. Like, you know, all of the major franchises for the most part, except for the next one that we're doing, stuff like that. So now we're like getting you into like this is where you go from just being like, I'm a person who likes horror to like, I've seen some horror shit, right? Like, I've seen the shit that
I've seen some shit.
Yeah, no, like you can go into a group and be like, I saw Night of the Demons. Like, that's not, I don't think it's high up on the list of just like the average person that watches horror movies on occasion, whatever comes out in theaters. Like, they're not going to have watched that. A lot of people, maybe older like me, still who had to go to the video store and rent shit, have probably seen it. A lot of us old horror heads, but
fair.
Yeah, this is now you graduated with an associate's. Now we're getting you into your bachelor's degree.
Which is crazy because like I legit have a bachelor's degree, just not in this. Am I doing anything with that degree? Am I still in debt from that degree?
I have a master's working on my PhD. Because there's still some shit out there. Well, because like there's still some shit out there like major foreign horror movies and stuff that I just haven't gone out of my way to watch because I don't like watching movies with subtitles. Unless I can.
That's literally a category for our panel show.
I know. That's why I said I'm working on my PhD.
I picked my foreign one.
Reek has a PhD.
Get out of here.
Pretty huge dick.
Jesus Christ. My eye is not focusing. It's like the whole fucking show. Ew. Whatever. It's the one I can see out of enough. I'm fine.
I finished Outlander.
Good. How'd you like it overall?
I'm gonna watch more of it. So, like, the big fight that Kate and I have been having is I hate the main character of the show.
That would do it. That I can understand that.
As a person. Not like the person that plays her, but as a person, the person that she plays, I do not like her.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yes. And it bothers Kate that I am against basically the whole reason to watch the show. But there are all these other characters that I really like, and then they kill them all off throughout 7 seasons.
So it's like Game of Thrones.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, so like, let me know when you figure out all that shit out with House of the Dragon and how we're going to do getting off.
Well, so here's the thing. Here's what I told Travis. I was like, right now I've got 3 options on the table, and part of it depends on at what point in time House of the Dragon airs, because I asked Travis what the plan was, and he said House of the Dragon will come on, and an hour after it ends, we will record #ThemeDragons live. That show runs about an hour. So if it goes from 7 to 8, and then we go from 9 to 10, feasibly, or even 10 to 11, and for 4 episodes, we go back to our 11 p.m. time slot. Feasibly, I can just do 2 shows back to back. I'll already be sitting here. I'll go do my bathroom break, come back, start the next show.
Okay.
My other option was to just let Mara and Travis have their show without me, because I'm on everything already. Just let them do #ThemeDragons. And while they're live, 4 episodes of Getting Off would not be live. It would just be recorded. And we would record it while they're doing their thing. And then the third option was letting them have their show for half of the season. So the 4 shows that coincide with when I would do this show, I would record this show while they're doing their show. And then the other 4 weeks, I would be on with them. And I would split duties.
Gotcha.
But it all depends on when it airs. And neither of them have responded back to me when I laid those out. We know what day it airs. We don't know what time it's airing. So it's going to be the 16th.
I'm gonna see if it says. I'm just gonna look.
All I saw was something that said, based on history, it was going to be 8 p.m. Eastern, but I feel like it was 9 p.m. Eastern before, not 8. So I don't know.
June 16th. Finale on August 4th. Jesus. It's not giving me anything.
I know.
Rude. Need to be rock on.
So,
Nah, don't be anything fucking disrespectful.
but yeah, that's where we're at. So depending on what time the show actually comes on and when we record, kind of depends on how I'm going to do it. But I'm going to let Travis know that I'm not putting Getting Off on the back burner until Them Dragons is done. If anything, I want to have this conversation. So, like, if he decides to go ahead without me, but he wants 3 people, he can try and find a third person to come and do the show. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he can bring on Amani if she wants to do it or something. You know, it'd be him, Amani, and Mara. Something like that. Like, that's the goal, is to figure it out before we get to June 16th. So we have a plan in place. So if he wants to do a 2-person show, just him and Mara, do a 2-person show, him and Mara. I'm cool with that. I don't need to be on another. I was on the last season. John did the whole, I think, Game of Thrones with them before #ThemeDragons, and then John left, and then I got #ThemeDragons. God damn, Nikita Lyons. So yeah, I don't know. That part we're gonna figure it out. We're either live or we're recorded. It is what it is.
As long as it doesn't go away, because I actually like it.
It's not going away. I'm not going to let that happen. I will tell him, hey, you guys are going to do the show without me. I'm going to record my show before I let it go away. Like, I'm not picking a show that's going to be on for 8 weeks to capsize something that we've been building and put it on the put it away for two months before we come
Yeah,
back.
I mean,
Like that's not
we're
that's
on
not an option for me. Plus, one of those
episode
episodes is supposed to be
34.
trivia. One of those episodes is supposed to be trivia. So like
It's April, isn't it?
no, not April.
I meant June.
June.
My brain doesn't work. Shut up. So the 26th. We're doing it the 9th or the 23rd. I don't remember which one we said.
I think it's the 23rd.
Oh yeah, because you wanted to give me another episode, right? Or no, we're doing no. Hold on. It's my episode next week, and then panel the 26th, and then Hannibal Lecter series the 9th. Right?
Yeah, no. So it would be it would be horror showcase, panel episode, horror showcase,
trivia.
Wait, hold on.
See, that doesn't seem right. I like that we always figure this out on air.
Where did my calendar go?
See, I'm just using the calendar on my computer.
All right, Sundays. So the 12th is Katie Showcase, and then it is the panel episode. And then the 9th, I thought was another Katie Showcase, and then because we just did Devil's Rejects, right?
Literally last week.
Right. So we did franchise. So we did Katie Showcase, franchise, Katie Showcase, panel. So yeah. So then it would be Katie Showcase, trivia.
And then July 7th
Katie
would be
Katie Showcase, and then the 21st would be our next franchise. And then it would be Katie Showcase, and then it would be panel. And then it would be Katie Showcase.
Okay. So I'm basically the buffer between everything else. It goes me and then something, me and then something, me and then something.
Yes, there's one Katie Showcase a month and there's one something a month. Yes. So that way we spread the franchises out because we ran through them really quick.
True.
And we were running out of things. And you enjoyed the news and rumors and all of that and wanted to keep doing it since you're not allowed to be on Creation Conversation anymore because we only run on Fridays. And
I 9 to the 10 work on Fridays. And there's 3 of you.
So yes, because that would perfectly space out. All right, so let's scroll back up. So the 12th is Katie Horror Showcase 2. 26th is Zombie Panel Show.
Yes.
The 9th is Katie Horror Showcase 3. The 23rd in June would be Trivia 2. Trick or Trivia 2.
Trivia 2.
The 7th would be Katie Horror Showcase 4. The 21st would be Hannibal Lecter.
Yes.
The 4th would be Katie Showcase 5. The 18th would then be panel number 2.
Okay.
September 1st, Katie Horror Showcase number 6. The 15th would be Trick or Trivia 3. The 29th.
We get 3 episodes in September.
29th is Katie Horror Showcase.
I love that. It's fun.
The 6th would be another franchise.
13th.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. The 13th would be Sunday, October 13th would be another franchise. 27th would be Katie Horror Showcase. So you get a Katie Horror Showcase in October.
As I should. November 10th.
So franchise, Horror Showcase. The 10th would be
Panel.
The 24th would be, or the 17th would be a horror showcase.
Nope.
Then
you're right,
December
it's 24th.
1st. Oh yeah, 10th, 24th. Okay, anyway. So then the December 8th, because the 24th is a horror showcase, would be Trick or Trivia finale.
Gotcha.
Because I don't know if we're going to run it all the week of Christmas, so that might be the final episode of the year.
Which would make sense, even if you do run, but like we can just make trivia finale the like end.
And if not, then we do like a year-end recap on the 22nd.
Okay. Oh, that was way up. Sorry, I was like, why didn't he post that? I was scrolling through something else. Oops.
So our final episode would either be the 8th or the 22nd. Katie Horror Showcase in between, and then rotating panel, franchise, trivia. So let's write this down. December 8th is trivia.
Am I writing this down or are you writing this down?
You're writing this down. That's your job. You're my...
Shit. Hold on. I'm going to put it on the back of the master list here. Okay. What am I writing?
All right. So, Horror Showcase, panel, Horror Showcase. June 23rd, Trick or Trivia 2.
Okay.
September 15th, Trick or Trivia 3.
Okay.
December 8th, Trick or Trivia Championship. Because I didn't want to correct you, but technically, you're not a trivia champion and getting offed yet. You are a finalist in the Horror Trivia Championship.
Just let me have what I have.
Because I got to find 2 more finalists for the 3 best to compete at the end of the year.
Oh, I can't wait to watch Reek squirm to try and get into this finale. It's going to be so fun to watch.
So. And now you know every other show. So once a month, you have to prepare a horror showcase. Except for September, then you have to do it twice.
September.
So. And let me just make sure of something. Yeah, so the 10th. We said the 10th. Okay, cool. No, September. Where's September? Okay, yeah, no, we're still good because Zoe's birthday is the 4th. So even if like we did a party for her the weekend of her birthday, we probably do it on a Saturday.
You're still good.
Won't matter. So
yeah, because September is the 1st, 15th, 29th.
Yeah. But all right. Yep, we got all getting off stuff talked about and planned out. We got Katie Horror Showcases. So next week is Night of the Demons 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 2nd is either the Night of the Demons remake and or 3, depending on how we figure it out, which would make... Wait, hold on. Did I fuck that up?
You said 3rd?
Okay, no, I did that right.
26.
12, 26, 9th. The 9th would be Night of the Demons 3 and or the remake. Because then the 23rd is,
Hannibal.
No, the 23rd would be, you just wrote it down. 23rd is Trick or Trivia.
Oh, I flipped the page around and put it back. That's why.
Hannibal is the 21st of July. So the 7th would either be
The Night of the Demons
Pet
remake
Sematary.
for Pet Cemetery.
Right. And then the fourth would either be Pet Cemetery and or Pet Cemetery 2. Depending on how you feel about them, we'll talk about if we're even going to do Bloodlines. We're not doing the remake because it's fucking awful.
Okay.
And then September 1st is probably the first Children of the Corn.
Happy fall, y'all. Children of the Corn.
And then the 29th is Children of the Corn 4.
Okay.
And then the 27th, I don't know, maybe I might try and find like a cool Halloween movie for the 27th because it's the week of Halloween
Well, yeah.
that you haven't seen. I'll have to figure that out. It might also be Children of the Corn 5, depending on how you feel about those movies. Depending on how you feel about those movies. Kane Hodder's in that one.
I know, but like, it's the week of Halloween. It's gotta be good.
Yeah, I know. Well, I feel like, have you watched Hellfest yet? Did I make you watch Hellfest?
Mm-mm.
Hellfest would be a good one.
I feel like I've scrolled past this movie before. Hellfest. I have scrolled past this movie before. It's on Tubi.
Yep. Well, I also own it, so.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. It's just the first thing it shows it on like where to watch. It says Tubi free.
So. All right. I'm going to let you go. It was a fun show.
Okay.
Bye. Everyone's still watching. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed us planning a completely different
A different
podcast
show.
for the rest of the year. Bye.